Yes. Let's get in the building. Let's get it. Let's get it. Where my guys at? Smash that like button when you come in. Smash that like button. Buck City Reloaded today. You know, we've been all over the place. We've been all over the place, man. Look, it ain't nothing personal, man. We got to keep it going. Keep it going. APBT magazine. Hey, you got to check that out. Go get that magazine ASAP. Don't wait. Don't be the last one to get it. Support this movement. We got a lot of great things going on that we should be proud of, you know. I'm about to get both of the magazines framed up. I'm gonna put them in the same frame. I found these frames. They a nice little frame, little powder blue. Well, it's like dark, like a matte blue type of little frame. You know what I'm saying? It looked pretty good. I'm gonna put both of the magazines up in there. Got my little logo and you know everything. You know APBT magazine. You know we're trying to do something. You know we're trying to do something. Damn what them haters say, man. Them haters never really mattered. Those haters, they never really mattered at all. I tell you from experience. You know, you get haters in real life, then you get these YouTube dudes, they could like well, social media, they could follow you around a little bit. So, you definitely gotta analyze it a little bit, but at the end of the day, bro, if you just sitting back hating, that means you're not getting anything done, right? Like you don't wanna be the guy that goofs around the whole time and never gets anything done. Hey man, salute everybody in the building. Smash that like button. Smash the like. Smash the like. We've been applying that pressure. Applying that hard pressure. Cats want to be debate artists. We're gonna entertain that. We entertain that. One thing about it, hey, we're not too big for nothing. If it's in this community, if it goes out, if it's got to do with the putting the breed in a positive light, hey, I'm there, man. Because I want the best for the breed. I'm not gonna shy away. I am not gonna shy away, brothers. We're gonna keep applying pressure. Let me see, man. Let me see. Smash that like button. This is the Wake and Bake Show. We keeping it cool because we over here, but this is the Wake and Bake Show. So you guys could definitely roll up and relax. You know what I'm saying? Big Saw in the building, Melee in the building, Lot Smoke Kennels in the building. Salute. Hemi James. And you don't need that many for the session. I'm gonna tell you. You don't need that many for the session, man. You know. You know, we just ducked off, just waiting, you know, see if the haters gonna pop out. You know, if they pop out, you know, we gotta get in it, you know. Well, they say you gotta get in the mix. Let me drop this link to this magazine. Go on and get it. Full color. One of the only ones I seen with the just the straight thick back. I mean the thick cover. It's just, you know, it's not your ordinary cover. You know, it's not. I got magazines at the crib right now. When I pop this one out, because I got it like y'all, except I just got a whole bunch of boxes. So I'm receiving the shit just like y'all. I'm like, fuck. Only thing is I knew what it was, but it was still gonna be brand new because you don't know if you know, stuck the dagger in it or not. You're like, damn, you know, you hoping this is something that you could be proud of, and then you know what I'm saying, things got to pan out. But the cover, the introduction, you know, is great, and I'm like a memorabilia type of guy. This book gives you a good sense of like memorabilia. You know, like we know, you know, we were there in those times, or if you go back a little further, or if those dogs are in your pedigree, you know, it's like I'm just taking notes for you. I'm doing all the note taking. I'm putting it in the magazine for you, right? So you can go through there when you need to and reference. It's a reference book. That's what it is. It's a reference book, right? It has that reference type of feel to it. You know, gives you a little vintage and it gives you a little modern, right? And we blend it all together so that people can better understand the breed and respect the breed, right? That's what we do at APBT Magazine, man. That's what we do. Okay. Oh yeah, we do got the what the helly up there. I guess we just keep it up there. Fuck it. I like because I like the crown on my shit. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have a crown on my shit, right? You know, so these live streams and some of them I definitely want to clean them up because we do got cats that, you know, they really not there for the bickering that goes on in most communities. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we do got to clean it up, but the overall presentation of the magazine is going to give you a wider grasp of different bloodlines that you have or have not seen. You know, you could kind of tie things together, see how things come together. You see in different phenotypes, you're learning about things. There's some old stories in there, you know, new stories in there, new people doing things in other countries. Salute to all the international dog men and women out there. A lot of women. You know, I noticed there's a lot of women in this in these dogs, in the American Pit Bull Terrier. You know, there's a lot. And they do things their way. Some of it is just like us, but everybody has their own spin on it, the way they do it, the way they interact, the way they socialize, right? All of that plays a part. You know, if your dogs like you, if they really like you and love you, you'd be surprised what they'll do for you. Okay? So we get it in. We get it in. Musician in the building. Salute Dickie Foster in the building. Salute my brother. Riley Shirt Company. Salute RBG. Salute my brother. Everybody smash that like button. We just trying to get it going. We know how this is like this is like my 88 F-150. You know, that joint, it starts up right away, but he takes a minute to crank up. That's what this channel is right here. You know what I'm saying? So smash the like button. Let's get up in this algorithm. Anyway, there was a stream I was checking out, man, before I got on here, and I was just gonna watch it. Then I was like, you know what? Let me share it with my guys. You know, this is APBT magazine. I flipped through it briefly. It wasn't really nothing crazy on there, you know what I'm saying, for the mellow guy. You know, we drinking coffee in the morning and shit. I gotta be cognizant about even though, hey, we like to get it in, but you know, I don't want to be spilling no coffee this morning. You know what I'm saying? So this is just lightweight. We just chopping it up. Few guys, Students for Life pulled up, Borderland pulled up. I think, you know what I'm saying? It was some good dialogue.
I'm pretty sure somebody, with the Tonka line would probably know a little bit better. But if I'm not mistaken, they could be dual registered with the AKC as AM staffs, and and still be registered with the ADBA or the UKC. And I'm still baffled by that, bro. Like, how can registries uh, register the same dog and one be registered under, as an American Pit Bull Terrier and the other as uh, American Staffordshire Terrier. And I understand that, the AKC cut out the the name American Pit Bull Terrier, but I believe it was like in 1941 they cut off the stud books or whatever else. They moved into that show direction. But I don't know, just food for thought.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. You know, I just see, like I was saying before we got on, you know, with the Sorrel line in particular, you know,
Mhm.
it's a lot of Tatanka, nobody really never says that. You know, I don't know if it's what she does with her dogs,
Mhm.
or I don't know if people respect that, much, but you would think that a dog that's 3 or 4 generations Tatanka, they would stop saying Sorrel. I mean, even though we know what's behind there, we know that, but let's say it's crossed up. I still see people saying the same thing. When it's crossed up, and those dogs, I mean, they got to be slightly different. If you look at the function, the form, the function of the dog, let's say you get a straight Sorrel dog that's Sorrel all the way through, and then you get a dog that got Sorrel like in a fifth, sixth generation, but then it's like 4 or 5 generations of Tatanka. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah.
They Hey, look at if it's a blackout, there's nothing you can say. I don't care. You know, I mean, the most important thing is that it's a good dog. That's the most important thing. But if it's a blackout on the pedigree to where that's all you see is your dogs on there, every dog, your dog on there, there's nothing nobody can say, man. Them is your dogs. Hey, salute to this animal right here came across my desk. Um, Good animal. One of my peoples took the picture at one of the dog shows. I got to get the info on it, but I definitely want to put it on the screen and show it. I think this is the one I did the short of. I got to double check. I don't want to botch that, but I think this is the one that I did a short of at the dog show, just wilding out, getting it in. I know, brought home hardware. I did a little bit of studies on the owner and, different things like that. They're just doing great things with the dogs, I believe from Canada. So this is another international one. I'll be definitely looking forward to probably doing an interview or doing something with that. Uh, they had a bunch of dogs, like a family that they got dogs. I didn't check out the pedigree or anything like that, but they were real happy about the dog competing, and they asked for if we had any pictures and stuff. They didn't really have pictures of the dog really turning up like that. So it was good to be able to hit the show up and take pictures and you know what I'm saying, be a service to other people, because when you're in there and don't nobody take no picture of you, you kind of on your own. You know what I'm saying? I mean, somebody, you know, this picture's not that great. You know, it doesn't look like it's from a great camera, but it's better than nothing. You know, so salute to just the people that support the dog shows and go to the dog shows, compete, and they put their dogs in good shape. You know, I think that's important, man. Trackside salute, brother. Salute, my brother. But nah, we just cooking on this little topic. Right, different dogs, you know.
No doubt. And you know, if we go in that pattern, every you know, every bloodline created, people could call it, you know, what it came from. You know what I mean? Like we call it Jeep line dog. You go back far enough, well, that some people took consider the Kobe dog. You know, so it's
Right,
like you
right.
said, when is that distinction made, or what has to be done with the dogs in order for that distinction to be made? You know,
Or do we just stick with the guy that is gonna sell the puppies, you know? Is Bert Sorrell's dogs more respected in that way than the Tatanka dogs? Hey, that's a good question, right? You know, and not only talking about this bloodline right here, but a reason why people might refer to the dogs in the back, because the dogs in the back maybe hold more weight than the dog that you're actually looking at, right? See, if a guy has a good dog, it doesn't matter. He's going to be locked in on that dog right there. He really doesn't care about anything else besides that. Of course, the most important thing to me is that this good dog comes from a good family. I don't want just a stray good dog, you know, a dog, an anomaly that just pops up out of nowhere, right?
oh, I
You
definitely
know,
think so. I definitely think
okay,
so. You know, for the you know for the majority of people, um, you know, so the name Sorrel period is you know like legendary. You know what I mean? Well known and that sort of thing. Whereas Tatanka, I'm not gonna say it's not as well known, but you got to be kind of in the know.
right. Well, I know they got a lot of nice show dogs. You know, they running that show ring.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
see
sir.
a lot of their stuff competing, you know, top. They got a lot of hella good dogs. I'm not gonna lie. Um, this dog comes down off of some of that little Sorrel in there, you know, Tatanka coming through there, you know. Maybe half. You know, I haven't checked the pedigree out in a minute, but that's what you get. You know, you get beautiful dogs that go and win dog shows, and they, you know, there's a deep history. Those dogs were bred basically in the show ring, in my opinion. You know, some people will say different. You know, I think those dogs, a vast majority of the generations that came in the last 20 years, I should say, um, were bred with their eyes on the show ring, you know, bred competing in the show ring, right? So when you're doing that and you're creating your animals with that template in mind, then that's the type of dog that you're going to be producing. And they, you know, just miraculously, I wouldn't say miraculous because it's in the blood. They're going to create beautiful dogs, but the ones I've seen have been very nice looking dogs. You know, I knocked it at first because I seen them at shows, let's say about 15 years ago or something, you know, and they were taking a lot of hardware. I wasn't really impressed with their dogs. I didn't think they had the grit. You know, I didn't think they, you know, I wanted a pit bull. You know, I want them to look nice, but I want them to have a little grit to them, right? Like this joint right here, you could tell, you know, it's a pretty dog. That's a female, pretty bitch, but she looks like she's got a little bit of grit to her. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really impressed with the thin bone structures and different things. I wanted a more sturdy dog, you know, for whatever purpose that I had. But as far as the show ring, you know, they were dominating. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so yeah, this one was from the Evergreen. So this is the show I attended. This is the show I attended. Um, almost a couple weekends ago, I guess we could say, a couple weekends ago almost. And it was a good day. It was a good day. So I'm taking a picture of this dog. This guy's taking a picture of the dog. He must got me because I got his ass. You feel me? So we in the trenches. We in the trenches, loving the animals, loving the breed, just wanting to showcase and just do my job. You know, it's like we can only get on YouTube and talk so much about what we're gonna do for the breed, what we're, you know, painting them in the positive light, and you know what I'm saying, all of this stuff that we talk about, right? And then it's another thing to actually get in there and do it. Let me look at Chapito's litter mate sister. You know, that bitch right there, just phenomenal. You know, I don't know how old Chapito is. Raiden and those guys are about 15, 16 months or something, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really know how old this bitch is. I don't know how old Chapito is. Chapito looked like a grown man though. I'm not gonna lie. But um, you know, looking at this bitch, you know, she has the look, everything about her. I mean, built great and hardware, you know. Salute Penalero Kennels. They got some pictures in the mag with the hardware, doing good things, positive. Nothing, nobody can say bad about that, the display and the sportsmanship that was given out that day. People putting it in. It takes a treadmill. You're seeing the positive light that we're putting the dogs in, and then we see, you know, we need treadmills because we want our dogs to look like this, right? In order for me to go to the show and compete with this dog on the screen, I need a treadmill, right? It's not for illegal purposes. I don't want a pimple on this dog. I want this dog to be perfectly clean, you know, perfectly clean dog. That's what we're advocating. That's what we're out here doing. Right? Sure, accidents happen, and sometimes they're permanent. Sometimes we get permanent scars from one accident, right? That doesn't mean you're a bad guy. This dog right here on the screen doing good things. APBT magazine star, Sports Illustrated, the American Pit Bull Terrier, putting on a show. She could get in a yard accident, right? It happens. It happens. I mean, you know, and I won't even call them tree huggers today. just people, you know, if they're listening, these type of things happen. Right. So get it in, man. Get it in. Do good by your dogs. Do good by your dogs. Okay. Do good by the dogs, man. Straight up. Wake and bake. Wake and bake. Dog competitions, you know, they've been getting it in, man. Salute everybody in the building. Salute everybody in the building. It's Bulldog Sunday. You know, we just getting it in, see what we can do, you know, see where everybody's at. It's been a real busy week. In and
Eclectic, what
out.
up,
I ain't
brother?
been at the crib as much. We, you know, smashing around and just doing whatnot. But you know, we still got our eyes on the prize, believe that. And we still gonna be productive no matter what.
Definitely want to take my hat off to you with the NWA. I believe you did what two or three shows. He did one over on your channel. You did one over on his channel. Man, fire. Way to
Oh,
that was a great way to cross pollinate.
I enjoyed that. I did. That was a good thing. It kind of let me know, like, okay, we gotta switch it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? When we jump on different platforms like that, you know, it ain't I mean, no offense, you know, to our hood, but you know, like your mom say, man, leave that bullshit at home, you know.
There you go. Exactly. Like you said, got to stand up and show 'em, stand up and show, we ain't no one
Yeah,
trick ponies, man. And at the
that's
end of the day, we are professionals in the dog world, and we need to act that way and show it.
that's real, man. That's real. So now we was talking about how many generations does it take to be just solidify? You could just stamp your shit, like this is my bloodline.
I, it, you know, I guess also it really could go back into what are you doing with the progeny? You know what I mean? Like I feel like if I take two generations off from the original dog. Like if I get a Buck City dog and my first litter, I keep all six of them and I title all six of them and wall climb and weight pulling and you know what I mean. I'm running with the ribbons and the show ring and everything else, and then I do that with the next years. I'm gonna be a little bit more. I'm gonna be a little bit more. Yeah, this is my line. You know what I mean? Especially if I'm coming, if the dogs that I'm that I'm breeding from don't really have uh that history of doing that. You know what I mean? I kind of feel like, well, this is what I bred. If I put this together so they be performance athletes, so they be show dogs or whatever else. So, that's just how I feel about it. I don't know if that's right, wrong, or what. I feel like if you put in that work and the product you churning out is getting those type of results and stuff, and then I feel like I would probably be more apt to call it my own a little sooner than if I was just out for lack of better words peddling.
Right. I got you. Salute. Nino in the building. What up, brother? Janae Johnson, salute. Everybody. Hey, smash that like button. Let's get it in. Now, I want to stop it there. Hey, Nigel, what up, brother? Bloodthirst, what up? Yeah, now I want to touch on this, man, because we talk a lot about how many generations does it take to make it your bloodline. You get it from somewhere, you do, and sometimes I got to look at it from different perspectives. So I reached out to a couple people and we came up with something that was a little deep, but I think it's reasonable, right? I think it's reasonable. Let me check some of it out. 4 or 5 generations of consistent breeding where you personally select each pairing. You're seeing repeating traits, look, drive, structure, temperament. Dogs start to stamp with your signature. So my thing is, I think, we be on these panels and everything, and yeah, it is yours. Once you do a breeding, yeah, it is yours. But it's not consistent where you're selecting the pairing, repeated traits, look, drive, structure, temperament. Like these dogs, the repeating look, right? Drive. Like these dogs, they're repeating this over and over and over. It's not inconsistent. It's not like, okay, I'm getting this time, I'm getting this time. You're getting consistency when it comes to that. Dogs start to stamp your signature. That's huge right there. Like your signature. That means that you're putting your spin on it that's not like somebody else. Like when I do my signature, the reason why people do that is because it's not like anybody else's. So if you do got dogs and you just bred them one time, but we still see, and you haven't created a consistent look, and you haven't stamped your signature on it, you haven't selected each pairing, 4 to 5 generations of consistency. I think that's huge. I think that's huge. And yeah, because I've said it like 3 generations, I got some stuff that hey, it'll blow your mind. Hey, Art Cobb, let me get I got the link right here, brother. It's also in the description. I try to keep it there too. I'm sure you got the first one. Yeah, so look, man, I'm not trying to bust nobody's bubble, but a lot of these things that I just read off of here, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I have yet to do that. I have yet to do that. I have yet to have 5 generations. I said a blackout, that's your shit, but still, you would have to still have your signature, though. It would still have to have your signature. We can't just use some of the principles and ignore the other ones, right? This is minimum standard, okay? This is minimum standard, right? 4 to 5 generations. You personally selected each pairing. That's important because those are the dogs that you're selecting, not whelping. We're not talking about whelping the dog, right? Yeah, you probably whelped the dog, but did you select and pair those dogs off of what? Did you know the parents to those dogs? Did you know the grandparents to those dogs? All of that is going to come into play, right? You're talking about developing a bloodline. Some people never develop a bloodline because they got so much shit going on. They're changing bloodlines every week. If you're changing bloodlines every week, you'll never meet the minimum standard. Okay? We just cooking, dog. Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all, man. Get that magazine. Appreciate y'all. All the support. Everybody that's rocking with me. running them numbers up. I run to that post office. It feels good, man. It feels good to stand in line. Sometimes I get up in there, there ain't nobody in line. They know me. They know me. The lady, she think it's calendars. She always says calendars. She was like, more calendars? It's like, yep, more calendars. I got you. You know, speaking of calendar, we getting that APBT magazine calendar going. So it's gonna have a lot of good stuff on there. Or like I said, it was either gonna be the poster. It's gonna be a calendar either way, but I don't know if it's gonna be the flip joint. It's gonna be the poster. I like the poster. I like the poster because I like to write on my posters. I like to write birthdays and dogs in heat, different, if you got a nice poster for a year, you could kind of keep tabs of your dogs. M16 was in heat, you know what I'm saying? Or Buffalo was in heat, you can really figure it out. But hey, these standards are harsh. They're a little harsh. It's going to bust some bubbles. It might even stir up some controversy in the community. You're seeing repeating traits: look, drive, structure, temperament. Don't detour past that. Let's cook.
I got you. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. What do you when we were on the NWA joint, Schoolboy alluded to basically the quickest way to destroy a bloodline is inbreeding. Explain like the importance of not being kennel blind.
I think that's everything, man. I think that's everything. You know what I mean? I think if you're kennel blind or you're too emotionally attached to your dogs, and that's the thing, you're not going to give a realistic or equal assessment. You know what I mean? I feel like that'll hinder you going forward. You know what I'm saying? If there's other dogs out there that are better suited to be crossed into your program or whatnot, you're missing out. You know what I mean? You really passing up a chance to improve, and that's really what you should be in it for. More so than puppy sales, more so than accolades or whatever else. I feel like any real breeder, dog, man, whatever you want to call us, the reason you get into what you get into, in my opinion, is when you leave it, it should be better than when you got there. You know what I mean? So if I get into these dogs, and I'm in it for 30 years. When I leave out this game, the game should be better, or the dogs should be better than they were when I got here. You know what I mean? And if you being
And we cook on that. We've been cooking on that this week. If you're leaving the game with worse dogs than you started with, that's the prime example that you suck. Serious. I'm dead serious. We can do anything. If you're a fisherman and you don't catch no fish, you suck. If you run track, but you're coming dead last, you suck, right? You're breeding dogs with rickets. Rickets on top of rickets. It sucks. And we want to raise the awareness. We want to continue to raise the awareness. Okay? I want to keep that light on. When you come to our hotel, it's going to be the Rickets Hotel. We're going to leave the light on for you guys that think it's okay to buy Rickets and think it's okay to breed Rickets. Okay?
kennel blind and you're not, taking into full effect, what your weaknesses are and looking for a way to strengthen those weaknesses, then I mean that's everything. It keeps you stagnant, keeps your program stagnant, and I think like Schoolboy said it best. That's the quickest way to demolish a bloodline.
Right. Because honestly, I see a lot of, I ain't gonna say young guys because it could be guys that's just getting in at an old age, but
Yep.
they tend to want to follow the trends of stacking pedigrees.
Mm-hmm.
Just if I got red boy, let me.
This is how you fall down to poor genetics. Too much. You're putting too much of one thing in there. Those genetics need time to breathe, right? And a lot of times what we do is you stacked it on. So let me take this defected ass dog and you just say, oh, all he needs is an outcross. Well, he needs a lot of other things too. He needs good traits, good genetics. There's a lot of other things that he probably didn't get either. If he didn't get the good confirmation, if he didn't carry that trait, because we're talking about passing on traits, right? So if the dog couldn't even pass on a trait of a good structure, what makes you think that it possesses all these other traits? So you'll make that excuse and just, oh, that's just for breeding. That's just for this. That's just for that. And I'm going to tell you, if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. If it was that easy, I'm just saying. If it's that easy, you could just take a tight ass bred dog that, just doesn't cut the mustard at all, but then I could just blame it on its bred tight. Well, then if that's the case, we could take every half-ass good dog that fails and put him in the same boat. Oh, he's bred too tight. Come on now. We can't do that. At some point in your program, when you're getting your 5 generations together, you're getting your consistent traits and you're getting your signature down to where you could just write those signatures out and it comes out the same time every time because you practiced it, right? You've done it repetitiously. These are the dogs you breed. Yeah, people are fucking fascinated with the outcome. They can't believe it. They say, man, this motherfucker, man. And then you just sit back and say, yeah, man, I know. Because you know what to expect. Right? Get the APBT magazine, y'all. You could also text me to get the all the math on it. I'll give you all the info you need. Cash App, PayPal, Zelle, Chime. We got them all, brother. We got them all, brother. You could send a money order. How about that? How about that? Hey, excuse me, y'all, because it been wild. It been wild in this community, but at the end of the day, we still gotta, when we go to the strip club, we own the club, so we still gotta rake up all the ones and stack them up. So support the channel, support the magazine. We got it going on. If you got some good content that you want to try to get up in there, maybe it might make the cut, maybe not. It might not be a first ballot. It might be a second or third ballot. That story might get picked up some kind of way, right? Send your story, send your pictures, send all your good shit, and we're gonna send it to the team. Let old Space Kid and those guys whip it up. Let my Space Kids whip that shit up. And we're gonna be getting going. But yeah, man, don't be selling dudes Rickets out here, man. It's still awareness.
Let me throw some red boy. If I got some Jeep or some, turtle buster, let me just go find a dog over here with some turtle buster in it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that got a lot to do with people just pushing the envelope and rushing a product. What up,
Yeah.
Borderland?
What up, baby? Shit, chillin'.
Oh
What y'all
man,
talking
what up,
about?
brother? Now we
So me,
talking about
Borderland.
What's
kennel
good?
blindness right now.
Oh yeah, kennel blindness. Oh look, let me open it in the app. I don't.
Hold on.
There you go.
You good? You good?
Hey. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Now I'm good. I was like, why is it making me create a name? I was like, my name is Borderland. You know me.
You familiar with the Tatanka dogs?
On.
Yeah,
The Tatanka, the Sorrel dogs?
yeah,
I
yeah.
just
Bro.
I just never really heard somebody just say like I'm running the Tatanka dogs. They always say the Sorrel dogs. You know what I'm saying? And I'm over in
Right.
this group,
Well,
and a guy said Joni herself, would have said he's a pure Sorrel dog. Even if it's 4 generations of her blood, I get it, but I don't never really hear nobody say Tatanka, you know.
well, it's sort of like the opposite of how you feel when people say Eli. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
Tatanka was like the foundation. Those Tatanka dogs was the foundation of what creates Toro. So it's like the same thing but opposite. You know what I mean? Everybody say Eli dogs,
Nah,
but
I thought it was the other way around though. I thought the Sorrel was the foundation.
well,
The
Sorrel is
Sorrel
the
dogs.
breeder, but his foundation dog. A lot of the dogs off of Tatanka. A lot of people found it, like when people found Eli and they started following Eli, they started following Sorrel because of Tatanka. But he kept his name rather than like Brute with the Eli, where Brudro Eli took the name. You know what I mean? It's the same thing though. So if somebody say Sorrel dogs, pretty much if you follow the background, you're gonna find Tatanka in there a few times. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So it's all about perspective of the person breeding the dog. Because at the end of the day, Brujo can say that's not Eli dog, that's a Brujo dog. You know what I'm saying? But instead, people ran with it because they was like they like Eli dog, just like they like the Tatanka dog. It's the dogs. It's like people say Jeep, they don't say Crenshaw. You know what I'm saying? But it could be the other way around. Or
Right. Exactly.
or you know what I'm saying? They could be like, oh, it's a Carver Bullison dog, or they could be like, it's a Jeep dog. It's just the way that people perceive it and run with it.
Yeah, 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 man. How important do you think it is not to be kennel blind? Because I still
Well,
see it. A
well,
lot of people just want to stack those pedigrees up.
right. Well, let me tell you, kennel blindness is a plague. You know what I mean? Because people find their niche and then they create their line, and then it becomes a sin not to go outside. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if you listen to a lot of the new agers, their goal is just to have their name for 6 generations. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
but they don't realize that even if you breed a dog from outside into your line, and then you take it back to your line, or you like the way that came out, so you breed them, you make another breeding like that. It's still your bloodline because that's the way you created it, and that's what you did with it. But I don't know. Kennel blindness is a big thing. And I can't deny it. I'm a little kennel blind because I deny a lot of entrances. But
Right.
you know what I mean? Be like, yeah, that's a nice bread dog, but I'm doing this over here. But as
Would you,
long as
would you
you
think
have your, go ahead.
Would you think people are looking for the results before they put the work in?
Oh, definitely. Especially nowadays because it's based off of a different.
Oh, he said, Buck, if a dog has Jeep, Red Boy, etc., in the 6th, 7th generation, is it still a Jeep or Red Boy? What makes a dog considered to be called as such if they are so far back in the ped? The only reason why it should be called that is because we don't know every pedigree. We got to understand this. So people go back in the ped to reference. So I could give you a let's say you show me a dog, I don't know what the hell they are. You're somebody else's last name for fucking 5 generations. I don't know what that is. So at that point, you have to go as far as back in the pedigree to catch me up to speed. Does that make sense? So all of these dogs, it doesn't matter what the dog is. It doesn't matter. This all terminology. The dog really is his daddy and his mama. You know, just like I got on the one boy, the dog name is Connor. Just straight trash, but they looking 4 generations back and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like the dog it's off of the mom and the daddy, bro. That's who your dog is off. Now we can say that dog and the daddy and the mama is a good representation of that line, but we just can't say that it's Jeep or Red Boy. But if that's what it goes back to, and there's not much deflection, it's not that much detouring off of the grid of how that dog was bred, or it's predominantly that, if we keep going back for conversation's sake, that's what it is. Now, if I know you, that dog might be this or that, or even with my dogs, I like to fucking say who the fuck it is, if that's Hannibal or that's, I like to say whatever dog it is, Little Mike, right? Any of his name. Now, what is he off? If you ask me the question, I got to go back. And if Michael Myers or Lynch or, one of those dogs ain't good enough, then I got to keep going back farther. So some people use it for a grift and they just want to sell you on a product because their dogs up until that point, it doesn't go up. So hopefully when I say Jeep, you won't look more into it. But that's what it is though.
Different approach. You know what I mean? So
Right.
yeah, now instead of being like, well, let me give this dog its time, grow up, and what we would used to call back in the day, check the dog. Okay, this dog made it, this dog didn't. It's like, hey, I'm gonna get this dog because it's bred like this, and I'm gonna breed it to this dog because it's bred like this, and I'm expecting the results to be what I envision in my head, rather than, hey, I'm gonna put in the work. It's gonna take me 10 years to get this done, but to get it done, then it's worthwhile. It's an expectation that's placed on what other people have done or what, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't know. What's your thoughts on it? Where we at? I'm trying to catch up because I was on a work call when you text me.
Yeah, now I'm just trying to figure it out, So we're just because I saw a post, and they were like, I mean, the dog was like 4 generations to Tonka, and they were kind of bragging on the dog a little bit. Not bragging on the dog, but they were real proud of the dog, but they just went straight to the back like this is a Sorrel dog. You know, I mean, I understand them is all the dogs in the back, but if you got three
Right.
foundations of one thing, no matter if that's your foundation or not, at what point is that bloodline yours? Like, at what point does somebody you
Well,
have to keep
I
referring
might
to
look at it a little
the
different though. You know what I'm saying, Buck? Because I really feel like I don't care if I go buy a dog from here and a dog from over there. Them dogs work out and I breed them. Those are my dogs now. You know what I mean? But a lot of people like to live off of the past name or whatever. So they'll call them a Sorrel's dog. But the thing is that if Sorrel didn't breed the dog, it's not a Sorrel's dog after you decide to go your way with the plan.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So because ain't no telling if you had the same two, you too, brother. Already, if you have the same two dogs and Sorrel, and you gave him the Sorrel, ain't no telling that he would go the same way with those two dogs that you did. He might go, hey, I'm gonna take this dog over here and take this dog over here, and then I'll bring those dogs. You gotta understand the breeder is what makes it that dog. That's why, like, when you say it's not an Eli dog, I'll be like, well, it kind of is because that's the dog that they followed in. You know, I'm gonna keep going back to that Eli.
Yeah. No.
But
I get it because I mean you can make the same argument, you know, how the Bolio Tombstone family and you know all the
right,
those other dogs they get lumped up in there. And I've been digging it up. I mean, of course, it ain't gonna get as much traction as the Eli shit because they be on my ass when I talk about the Eli shit.
you know
But
I am. I be
it's
like,
the
that's an
same
Eli
argument.
dog. Stop it, Buck.
I made the same argument. They talking about Bolio Tombstone dogs. It be Bolio Klaus dog. Like it ain't got
Right.
no tombstone in it at all. But we still say that. You know what I'm
But
saying?
it's
And
like it's like your Myers dog, and you know what I'm saying. Somebody might look at your pedigree that you're breeding now and be like, yeah, they made a dog. No, those are buck dogs. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the way you decided to go with Michael Myers and how you decided to follow that game. You know what I mean?
I tried to put
So
the wall up on the pedigree to where I don't have to go up under the Mayday classification. You know, even
perfect. And
though
that's the way that
we know what it is, but be particular because it's actually Mayday back to his littermate sister, Mayday Dragon Lady.
right,
It's not
right,
Mayday
right, right.
another family of dogs. The majority of Mayday dogs that you see is Mayday bred back to another family of dogs. Whether if it's Red Boy
Right.
Jock, Deadlift, you know, whatever other kind of dog. But Lady Doll, she is Mayday back to Mayday littermate sister. That's different. That's
Right, right.
different.
That's like I would say my Achilles 3 dog. That's my Achilles Junior dog to his littermate sister. They both double bred Achilles. But what I'm saying is that still I call them Achilles dogs, but they're not Achilles dogs. They're my dog. They're borderland dogs. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
ain't no telling anyway. I mean, they're not Achilles, but no matter how much you put them in, they're not the same dog. So no matter how you name them, because I did down the line, Junior, 3, and 4 will be next. You know what I'm saying? I line breed on it, or I bring in a cross to it. It doesn't matter. The foundation would be Achilles, but in reality, if somebody asked me how's that dog bred, I'd be like, that's borderland bred. You know what I mean? And
Right.
you go get to look at the pedigree, and you can see what dogs are in the foundation of this dog. Those are borderland bred dogs, and I used to be like that back in '98, 2000. You know, they ask you how's that dog bred, borderland. Let's go. You know what I mean? And that was and that's my thought on it. I ain't never been. I mean, like, even though the dogs. Remember, I was doing that breeding on the side of the road. That was one of my dogs, but that's a borderland dog now. Once I purchased that borderland dog now, you know what I mean? So
Right.
it's still borderland bred because I'm the only one that is doing this breeding right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't find that nowhere else, you know.
Right, yeah. There ain't
Right.
nowhere else you could get this breeding of these dogs, this history of dogs. I mean, everybody has history in their dog, but not these dogs. So, and maybe when it comes to the dogs, I'm a little. That's why I say I can't deny that I'm not kennel blind because that's how everything is my kennel. If I purchase a dog, that's borderland now. And if the dog, if I can't purchase the name to put borderland on it, then okay. As soon as I breed that dog, everything off of that dog, borderland. You know what I'm saying? Because I
Right,
don't
right.
like if somebody when I did when I sell a dog or if I sell a dog, when I sell a dog, it's gonna keep the name borderland and it's gonna have a clause that I could breed back to it. Because usually it's going to somebody that's close to me anyway. So
Right,
usually
right.
I've given more dogs away than I've sold, and that's a true story. And it's because of the fact that I put stipulations. Hey, that dog turned out, to my liking, then I wanna breed back to the dog. And no, you can't take Borderlands this off of the dog's name. No, no you know what I'm saying? So that's just
Right,
how
right,
it
right,
is.
right. You gotta
Now
breed
you
your
could put
own.
whatever you want online. I don't care what you name it online. You name it whatever you want to online. It could be whatever kind of you dream of. You could call it schoolboys dog, or you could call it. You know what I'm saying? You could do it
Yeah,
however,
yeah.
but if you register the dog, the registration gonna come back. It's gonna say call name is this, real name is this. You know what I mean? So
Right,
as
right,
it
right.
prints out in the background, yeah. But that's that's when it comes to the fact that just you're not living off anybody else but yourself. Cause ain't I tell you one thing, this might be a Jeep Foundation dog or whatever, or a Tab Foundation dog like that breeding I was doing. But I know one thing that White ain't never paid any bills in my house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So his credit goes where it's due. Up to that, up from him. I don't know whoever want to say this is a Tab dog, but after it come to my yard, it's a borderland dog. Period. Point
Well,
blank.
you got ingredients. That's how I look at it. If you got the
Yeah,
ingredients, then that's your shit. You know.
exactly. Because it's just like with Townsend. I just got Susie Q to the yard. The way that I'm going with Susie Q, Townsend would probably never thought of it. You know what I'm saying? Well, he did because I took him a puppy when I went to go breed or what time. But what I'm saying is not that Susie Q has a new plan in life now. You know what I mean? Yeah, she's a Budweiser up there as dog. She was bred Townsend all the way up to her. But as an old bitch, she came to the yard, and now her whole life is different. Her whole future production is different. No matter what she produced in the past, where they put it, I have a plan. You know what I'm saying? And that's a borderland plan.
Right.
And that's just how I look at it, brother. I mean,
I like your thoughts on that though. You know what I mean? Like I want to as soon as I can, brand it as mine. You know what I mean?
yes,
Here's
sir.
my question though. All right, let's say I purchased my stud from Borderland, and I
Hmm.
purchased my female from Buck City Kennels. Um,
Right?
from there, what from right there, when I make my litter of puppies, are those considered Buck City dogs, or are those considered
Those are
Borderland dogs?
considered your dogs because they're you're the one that decided, hey, I like this Buck City dog. I like this Borderland dog. I'm gonna put them together, and this is what I'm gonna get. And those are your dogs. So all they have is a Borderland foundation and a Buck City foundation, the rest is yours. Everything going forward is yours. You might take two of those puppies, breed them together, tighten up your line
Right.
over here, take one, breed it over there, bring the pup back, breed it back in to your line. That's your plan, that's your line, that's your blood. As soon as you drop puppies on the ground, it's yours. Even if you said, "Hey, I'm gonna grab two Buck City dogs, breed them together." After that, once you decided to make that breeding, that's your bloodline because you
Ah,
have to live on that. You have
yeah.
to live on it because it doesn't matter if you sell one of those dogs. It don't, or and it's the greatest dog in the world. Yeah, the
That's a
foundation came from Buck, but you
that's a
decided to make that breeding.
I feel you.
You,
I feel that's a. I think I get a lot of pushback on that one though. You know what I
But
mean?
hey, it is
you
pushback
will,
on. It
you
is
Huh?
will,
pushback.
but
Yeah.
this is how you push back to that. Hey,
Well,
Buck
look
had
at
these
this.
dogs on his yard. He didn't do this breeding. I did this breeding. This is my dog. You know
I
what I'm
But
saying?
definitely, I definitely,
look
I
at yellow.
definitely see both sides of it. I definitely see both sides of it. You know what I mean? Cause like, all right, from both perspective, you know, hey dog, you did put those two dogs together and breed them, but you wouldn't have none of that. You wouldn't have none of those ingredients if it weren't for the hard work that I put in the last 7, 10 generations to, you know what I'm saying, put them
Right,
together. You know what I mean? So, dang man, that's a complicated. That's no. I feel,
right. But
I
at
feel
the
both
same
ways about
time, but this is what I'm saying. At the same time, Buck put in the work to give you a foundation.
it.
So
Hmm.
Buck is not losing anything from you getting that foundation. If anything, you're big up in Buck if that works. Hey brother, this worked out. You the man. Thank you for the foundation. Don't
Right,
shy
right.
off of giving them love. But I decided to do this breeding, and at that time, at that point, once those puppies hit the ground, if you ain't Buck
Hey,
and
this
and
one's
no
dicey. This right here. Hey, let's debate this one again, man. I like this one. Um, you know, because and we this is probably this might be a year old. I don't remember when we even did this. This was probably a long time ago. But your perspective can change on shit. That's how you know that you're growing. You're cultivating, you're formulating, your recipe in your head and the way that you're gonna do it. So when you get a position, you get some good dogs, they're gonna go through whatever you formulated for them. So I kind of like the harsh standard. We're kind of putting a little obvious twist on it. It's like, yeah, if I get a dog, they both my dogs, I breed them together. That's my shit. Of course, it's not the breeder shit. Even though I would look at that if it was from, let's say, Little Haystack, I'll be looking at like that's a Little Haystack dog. No matter what you bred it to, you could have bred that shit to a mutt. And I see that motherfucker down the street barking and shit. I'm gonna be like, that's that mutt off a Little Haystack. Yeah, that's your shit, technically. But nah, I definitely want to debate this. If you guys want to pull up, you're welcome to pull up. This one is a good one to debate, man. It's your shit, but it's it's not your signature. Yeah, it's yours. It's your breeding. I can't do it. That's not a breeding I would do. You got one of the dogs from me, but um until you make your sin. I like these harsh rules. I like this. This is real harsh. And this is from other breeders, not just APBT. It's like a general perspective about it. And most agree. This is one of those most would agree type of statements. But like you didn't, yeah, you hand selected that one breeding. We look at a pedigree. And that would be like a hand-picked. You select one breed. You know? Let me see. See something that's on here, man. Get one in, man. Vito, what up, man?
What up, bro?
Oh man, cooling, man. What you got on this?
Shit, I'm thinking once I buy one dog from somebody and then another dog from somebody and I raise them to a good breeding age, about 2-3 years old, and I breed them, then I go get like another 2 dogs and I breed them. When I breed those 2 puppies that I made off those 4 dogs, that batch is mine. That's what I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
think. I wouldn't think just off rip, oh, this mine. Shut up! That this mine. I'd
Well,
say,
I think it's yours, but it's not really your bloodline. Is that fair?
yeah, yeah.
It's yours. Yeah, it's yours. But I think it's 2 different things. I think we lumped it all together. It's like, how many generations did it take to be yours? And then how many generations did it take to be bloodline? Like, I think that should be separated immediately. Because I think that's where the confusion is right there. Go ahead, Itchy. You
Yeah.
got it.
So
All
yeah,
right,
like
what's up, boss man?
What's going on with it?
What do you think about naming bloodlines dead dogs, bro? Because you can't go and breed to them, right? So I understand, maybe some of the grandparents are still alive. You can breed to those dogs. They can create a bloodline. You can't create a bloodline off a dead dog unless it's frozen semen. You can, but who started that with the
Give us
naming?
an
Like
example.
they
Give
don't
us
want to
an
look at the
example.
whole pedigree. See an example. Jeep, right? Jeep had a
Okay, okay.
pedigree before him. I
Good
don't
one.
know Jeep's pedigree. Bo and Honey Bunch, right?
Right, right.
He had dogs before him, right? Nobody's calling Jeep anything. You get me? You know
Right.
what he is, right? He is named. So all the dogs stemming down from him, there's been a lot of good ones. Why they don't call those dogs names? It's a Jeep dog. You know, that's kind of like putting in a situation to where uh only a certain group of people were like some founding fathers or something. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
or some dogs or some founding fathers. Like, man, that dog may be better or worse than G. Stop calling it fucking G, right? He is who he is. If he haven't made a name for himself and the guy like the fucking dog, it's still the dog's name. You don't have Jeep, bro. Jeep's dead. Let it go.
No, that's a fact. I
Because
agree.
there's no consistency on how to name this shit. They don't want to use the breeder's name, right? Oh, they want to use the breeder's name before the breeder, and most people agree that the dog makes the bloodlines. But we don't want to use your dog's fucking name. We're gonna go back to some dead ass dog nigga before your time, 1960. And they want you to respect that shit because you're stepping on some toes or something. The fucking breeder's dead. Maurice Carver is fucking dead, right? He even said, I read somewhere where it was like three generations, like you could take a fucking German Shepherd, make it a pit bull, and a pit bull German Shepherd. I don't agree with it, but that's what he said. If I didn't breed the dog, don't call it one of my dogs.
So after
But
3 generations, you don't think that the dogs are gonna have an influence, basically.
I mean, that's what he said. I don't agree with him. I'm just saying what he said. But people will call dogs in 2025 a Carver bred dog.
And the man specifically said, "Hey, after 3 generations, don't say if I didn't." No, he said, "I don't. If I didn't breed the dog, don't call it a Carver dog." You know,
But if you
that's
don't know all the other names, like if you don't
yeah,
know the LGs and you don't know,
that's
all the
why they
guys
should
that
learn it. That's why they should learn
DSKs,
that. They got
but
their
if I just
dogs.
say
It's
it's
their
the
goddamn
DSK
dog.
dog, you might not know what that is. You feel me?
Yeah, but I'm saying they should learn their dogs. It's not my fault. I don't know what kind of fucking dog you got. You get what I'm saying? If you don't know,
Right.
I'm not gonna know. So learn your dogs and your pedigree, which you can if you need to identify all the dogs back in the back, man. This shit's gonna get ridiculous after a while, bro. We just gonna have to start calling them Daibo dogs, right?
But listen
Daibo.
though, but listen to the old man. That's what the old man called them. The old man called them Dappo dogs, even though that they was boomerang or something else at that time, until it went on in time. And so now we
Daibo
call
had
them
dogs
red
too.
boy dogs, and shit during that time. So shit, 20 years from now they're gonna be calling our dog name. You know what I'm saying? Ship dogs or whatever it is. It's gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be calling them that. We don't use Divo no more. But the old heads in the 70s and 80s, they were still using Divo, even though it was shit was bred off a Jeep and shit like that, or boomerang or whatever it was back in the day. They'll tell you, oh, that's a Corvino dog, or that's Divo, a Black Widow, even though it was good dogs during they time period. It's just a sin to go
Yeah, they
back to
just
get
gotta
a
get a handle.
old
They gotta
dog
get a handle.
recognition, I guess. Cause like right now, if I come out and tell somebody, well, yeah, man, my dog off Cujo, they say, well, Cujo? We don't know him, so you know what I'm saying. So I did that. Well, he Jeep Honey Bunch, Jeep Rascal. You know what I'm saying? Then the names that people recognize through the lineages, even though we got good dogs now with their own name. But people gonna be using
Yeah.
them names
So,
that we're not
so
using
how we
right now.
supposed to look? So how you think we supposed to look at it? Is it about the dog's lineage or is it the brand where the dog come from? Because I'd rather do where the dog comes from, because now you can be able to decipher, right? When the shit's trash, it's gonna be your dog, right? You made that dumbass breeding, it didn't work. Don't blame Buck, don't blame
Hopefully,
whoever, right?
I think it
hopefully
come
when you
off
buy
of.
your dog,
That's what
they
they're
can
It
gonna
tell
come
do.
off.
you they can tell you something about it. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully when you buy your dog, they can say, well, it got this, it do this, it got this trace, it got that trace. Hopefully they can tell you something about it before you purchase your dog. You know what I'm saying?
I
They
think
can
it's
tell
Now
just
you
that.
exactly
let's say I
what them
got
line of dogs doing.
let's just say I got some dogs from Victor A. Card himself, right? And I fucking bred them. And my dogs are shitty, right? And I'd be like, yo, I got some Southern Kennels dogs, right? A motherfucker gonna be like, no, them ain't the same dogs. I don't know what dogs you selected to choose a breed to, but I bought 8 of them motherfuckers and I didn't get one. Yeah, I'm gonna go over here to Victor, you know.
But
So it's like the branding does matter to what you want to find a certain strand of dogs, but not all dogs stemming down from, you know, a
I'm just saying, if
predecessor
you're
is
talking
the
in this
same kind of
situation,
dog to be naming it that. You know what I mean? Jeep had curves. Jeep had cold dogs. Jeep had bullshit dogs. So to
hey,
call
I'm
it
pretty
Jeep,
sure all of
not,
them had it.
not their
You know what I'm
name.
saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not their name. You can't keep naming it like that. You know what I mean? You got that man got a whole nother strand. You know,
I
that's
think.
probably
I
the
think
shit
what they came.
that he got.
I.
You
I
want
think
what
what
he
they
got,
came
not
off
what
of
they.
and who bred them is two different conversations, though. Depends on the question you being asked. Like, what that
That's what
come
I'm
off
asking.
of?
So
Well,
But
how
I'm
do
then if
we?
you
saying,
be
How do we?
like,
I'm saying the dogs you got
but
from
then
Victor,
if you be
the
like, who
dog.
bred the dog? Who bred the dog? Me. What it come off of? Gee, I mean, two different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
but I'm
what I'm
saying
saying
that's
is,
that's
in the
that's somebody
scenario you
like
speaking,
dogs.
if the
When
dogs
you
you
breed,
bought for Victor, if they was good, and the ones you bred, and you put the two Victor dogs you got, the ones you bred, and they turned out bad. But the
yeah,
ones, the breed and the mom and the daddy, if they was good, you go back and then you find something else. You start back over from your source, from the dogs you got from Victor.
No, I'm
You know
saying
what I'm saying?
I became a source. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about how to start it. I'm saying I got some dogs from Southern Kennels or whatever, and I've been breeding these motherfuckers, right? But my shit trash. You get
So
me?
your formula
So
fucked up.
Oh yeah,
are we gonna
yeah,
call it the
yeah.
same shit?
You you
You know
you
what I
you
mean?
fucked up the
Oh
blue
yeah, oh
magic.
yeah. The dog man, he gonna say these the dogs are using to sell them damn puppies, but motherfucker gonna find out. Oh, these ain't the same dogs. You know they got the same blood. That don't mean they're the same dogs. Maybe yours wasn't
Yes, that's
working, or
all
you
it
ain't
is.
select the right ones
That's
to breed, or what. But a
that's all
motherfucker gonna
it
lie and still say these are good
That
Victor dogs. Come and get you one.
is. That's
You
what I'm
put too
getting.
much
That's what
cut on the
I'm
blue
getting at.
magic. You ain't have to touch it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm getting at, man. So the breeder does have some influence because he makes a decision, and he might make a bad decision or he might make a good decision. This shit might be better than what the fuck he got, right? You know, I just use a popular person as an example, not to, you know what I mean, make myself,
Yeah,
bigger or
yeah.
inferior than nobody. But or we just concentrate on the fucking dog because there's been a lot of trash ass dogs from, you know what I mean, sires and dames, bro, that didn't build no motherfucking bloodlines. But that one great offspring, oh, we gonna be like, oh shit, these is such and such kind of dogs, right? You know what I mean? These are whatever. I don't want to use a name because people be getting tender. They be listening to this shit. Like I had a homie telling me to stay off and stuff. But we ain't arguing about nothing. It's just we got to figure out like us, because we are the people at the time with these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? We got to figure out how the fuck we gonna keep naming these motherfuckers because we can't be looking in the pedigree and be saying 10, 15, 20 fucking dog names. That's fucking stupid, bro. You know what I mean? Red Boy, Jocko, Boyo, Tombstone, G, Rascal, Tonka, fucking Mayday, or whatever. It's gonna be too many letters in the alphabet pretty soon, bro. To be naming these motherfuckers, man. So either it's gonna be the breeder, the brand, or the dog, bro. One or the other, man. It's just
I
all
think
over the place.
salute to y'all boys, man. I think is this question is still a little even more
You
nuanced,
kind of
right?
static. You
But
static up. You static up. I can tell you about to cook though. Drop down and come back up. It's static up.
All right.
But listen, man. Hey, but what the question was about when the line becomes yours?
No,
Um,
I was asking them, how do we start naming the bloodlines? Because, you know, there's no consistency on how to do it. So I guess that's kind of the
Yeah.
same question added to the question that never got answered. You know what I mean? No, he did answer. He said 5 gens. It's yours. But, what the fuck do you call it, though? You know what I mean? Do you use your name? Do you use your brand? Or do you use a dog that you concentrated on? Because not
Say like
everybody concentrates.
you know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, like you know what I'm saying, a motherfucker can be running Carver blood and it can still be his line over time. Like you don't put these breeds together, you don't did that over 10 years, like 5 years, like this your shit now. You don't got 4, 5 lineages, like it's your blood, even though they coming down for the Carver shit. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? It's still your line, but you can
let's
use
finish
the
up.
Carver line.
But you use
Hmm?
different breeders too to put in there. So we're gonna keep saying we're gonna say Carver, Boudreaux, Hall, uh, whatever other breeder, add their names of fucking together because the
But
dogs came from that man
but once
yard.
you get nah, but I'm just saying though, it could be your name now. When you look at the pedigree, it'll say
I'm just saying
Itchy's Rambo. You know what I'm saying?
it
After a
don't matter
while,
how you
everything gonna
look at
say
it.
itchy. You know what I'm saying? After a while, gonna say itchy. Then you can when you sell your shit, this my shit now. Even though when a motherfucker asks you, the motherfucker asks you, and you can say, yeah, this my bloodline. He's still gonna ask you basically like where you started from, like what dogs you
But
put
they
together.
don't do that though.
And you say,
It don't matter
well,
how you name
you
the
know,
dog. They're gonna name five breeders that they like in the back, bro. We see
but
it on
nah,
podcasts
if I don't know the
every
ones in
day.
the front though. What if I don't know the ones in the front? Like you say whatever it is in the
Right.
front, and I just don't know what them dogs are.
Right.
You
But
feel
that
me?
dude put he put his breeder's decision on there because you can't say that
Somebody echo.
you probably won't even get the same dogs if you go to Maurice Carviar, Bobby Hall, or five
You
other
got the echo,
breeders, right?
cause.
Does that mean?
Now
If
that's
you go to
cause.
five other breeders, right, or six, some even number, let's just say 8. You go to 8 different breeders and you breed your shit together, right? And somebody be like, "Oh, that's a such and such, such and such." They named 8 fucking dogs, man, in the back of the 4th generation. You know, that's fucking idiotic to me, bro. It's
All right,
neither none of
so
those dogs.
we were
It's
talking
his
about
own
Jeep.
entity.
We were talking about Jeep earlier.
Yeah.
Go ahead, cause then I'm gonna cook about Jeep. Go ahead, you got it.
All right. I was gonna say it's still a little even more nuanced than that. For instance, if I get a Buck City dog and I breed it to another Buck City dog, is it my dog?
Yeah,
Right?
that's you bred them. You bred
I,
them.
I bred a
Where
Buck
did you
City
get it from
dog.
me? Is it a big city dog?
It's a Buck City dog,
But it's your
You know what I'm
breed.
saying?
but it's my breeding.
It's your breeding.
But
But you got the dog from me. I got it
it's
from
a Buck City dog. It's a Buck City dog, 100%. You dig what I'm talking about?
Okay.
But let's say I take that Buck City dog and I breed it to a Borderland dog, right? That is a brand new strain. You dig what I'm talking about? I'm sure that the Red Boy Eli been done, but the how the Mike to the Achilles that never been done before. You dig what I'm talking about? When I breed them dogs together, because it is a brand new strain, this is how I see it. This is how I see it. If I breeded Buck strain now, if Buck can go and reproduce what I just reproduced, then it's not my dog. But if I produce a brand new strain of dog, even though I bred it, it's my breeding, but it's not my line of dog, right?
Yeah,
It's
they're gonna
still
have to
Buck
be good
City.
for them
It's a
niggas
Buck
to name.
City line bred dog, even though it's bred by me. But
Trash, sorry.
but when I cross that borderland to that Mike and it's bred by me, it is even though it's from Cloud Kicker Kennels, you dig what I'm talking about? That Mike shit is still Mike shit. You dig what I'm talking about? That's still a Buck City dog 100%. But if I cross them up and make something new, you dig what I'm talking about? Yes, I bred it. It's from Cloud Kicker Kennels. You dig what I'm talking about? But you dig what I'm talking about? This is my breeding and my brand new line.
Really?
Right? I think
So
it goes
what you
both
gonna
ways.
cross?
I think it's a little nuance in
But
there.
but sometimes they could just say, "Oh well, you running some borderland Buck City stuff."
What
Somebody echoing this.
identify what you
Hey,
say?
this is
And
terrible
what are you gonna call it?
right now.
Hey, cars, you got
Go
to
ahead.
go down. You got to mute. But basically, you can say you running some Buckland borderland stuff. I mean, some Buck City
Man,
borderland
they're
stuff.
gonna
You
name
know what I'm
5.
saying?
Man, when a dog is
You know
good,
what I'm
listen.
saying?
When a dog is good, they're gonna name 5 breeders, and then some old niggas is gonna name 8 dead motherfuckers. There's no
But
consistency
why?
on how to brand it. That's all I'm asking. How do we brand it?
But my thing is
I'm
this:
asking y'all.
my
I'm
dog.
asking the
Hold on.
question.
Wait a minute. My dog goes on
Cars,
to be a
you
grand
fucked up,
champion.
man. Your shit fucked up.
Your audio is terrible, brother. I don't
I'm
know
on
what
my
you're
phone.
doing.
Yeah,
You're doing something
but you
that's
at
you
work?
never did.
Hold on. Hey, somebody else close their mic real quick and see if. All right. Do I sound better?
Hell no.
Hey, you're
You in the
staticky and
transfer portal,
everything, man.
man.
It's
You in
terrible.
the transfer portal.
Yeah,
I was gonna
it's
say that. I
terrible.
was gonna say that. I was gonna lie to you. That nigga said, hell no.
You might be hooked to the Wi-Fi or something. Get off the Wi-Fi or something.
Hey,
Nah,
mute
you
up
gotta
till
go
you figure
down.
it out.
Piece away, bro.
You
That
got
motherfucker's gone, bro.
mute call. You
Yeah,
gotta
What
yeah,
up,
mute.
that's
Yee? What
terrible.
up, Yee? Hey, mute up till you figure it out. All right.
Now I get what everybody's saying, but until you put that signature stamp, I don't think you could call it your bloodline. I think I'm gonna stick with that. You know, it's a little harsher than we was on the other video.
I don't
This is
call it
just
nothing. I
minimum
just call it the
standard.
dog's name, bro. I just call it the dog's name, bro. That's it.
Yeah,
I mean,
but if
me
we don't
racking my
know that,
brain around
you
on how
got to
to
go
do
back
it,
though.
I just call it the dog's name, bro.
But if we don't know that, then what are you gonna say? All right, you say the dog's name, and I say I don't know who that is. What does that come down off? And then what are you gonna say after that?
I mean, I just show you the pedigree. That'll be on you. What the fuck you want to name it, bro? You
Ah,
know?
come on, Itchy man. You
I'm
Itchy would
saying,
have been.
serious. That's how I think for
It's
real.
a
Cause
man. You gonna say when they
remember,
ask
I said
you
I got a dog
is
that's
it red boy? When they ask you is it red boy, Bolio, a Jeep blood? What you gonna say? You gonna
listen.
say well the
You know
pants
what
come
they, you
down
know
off of this, pants come off down.
you know what they're gonna say, right? If I use some fucking old dead ass dogs, they can be like, man, that shit's in the back, or man, that shit's in the third generation, right? That don't mean it's a,
You don't
you
give
gotta
none of
get
the
all
old
that
timers
stuff.
respect.
Hey,
You gotta
a
get all
third
that
generation is
stuff.
good. The third generation is good. Your dog still
Hey,
use the shit of the third generation.
Yeah, I'm not
hey,
saying it's
hey,
good or
Itchy.
bad. I'm unbiased
You
in this.
taking credit away from the old timers, man.
I'm saying I'm just saying,
Trying
bro,
to
what
erase
is
history.
gonna happen? What is gonna happen
The big
is the person, right, that's looking at that is gonna always see it differently than what you see it. So there's no fucking way to fucking just brand the shit, right? On some consistency. Other than just calling it the fucking dog name, bro.
and
That's
a lot of shit is used for
that shit,
advertisement
man. Fuck
and
this shit.
sales points. And
What
sales
is
points.
shit?
A motherfucker
You
use
know?
a lot of shit for sales points. A motherfucker ain't gonna buy your dog and that bitch come and say, well, yeah, this Cujo. And he did good. You gonna say, what? Who the hell is Cujo? We don't know no Cujo. Oh well, he went way back from the Midnight Cowboy shit. He the Gardner shit. So people can get a perspective of what type of traits he got. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You don't just come out. You know what I'm saying? You still got to get people perspectives on,
I,
give them
yeah, I
perspectives of what
understand.
they buy.
I'm not
You know what
saying
I'm
I
saying?
don't
You ain't gonna say
understand.
this
I'm
Cujo.
just saying
Just go see for yourself. You ain't gonna say that. You know
ain't
what
no
I'm saying?
consistency on how to do it. That's all I'm saying. So, when you're trying to grab a handle on shit, right? Because Buck gave his perspective and he said 5 genes concentrated on something. Or maybe the breeder's name. I don't know. He just said 5 genes. I don't know what that 5 genes consist of.
We
So
got this
that's what
minimum
I'm asking.
standard. You know,
Huh?
that's what other breeds, and they just came up with this. It's like minimum standard. 4 to 5
That's
generations of consistent breeding where you personally select each pairing. You know, you're seeing repeating traits, look, drive, structure, temperament. All of that type of stuff. Your
okay. So
dogs
what do we
start to
call it?
stamp your signature. I
Okay.
think that's the most important one right there. Fuck all the other
Would you
shit. The
Do we use a
dogs
dog
start to
name? Do we
stamp
use
with
your
your
name? Do we
signature.
use a brand name? I'm saying, what? How
You
do we?
said,
What do we call it? That's all I'm
what do you
asking.
mean?
It's
I
like
get
this
what you're
here.
saying.
It's like this here.
I get
Okay,
the
okay.
concept. I get
Just
the
like
concept.
Carl say.
I'm trying to get
Just like
One at a time. One at a
Do
time,
we
brothers.
say
One at a
Buck?
time.
Like, do we say Buck City? Do we say your first name, your last name, or one of the dogs that you concentrated on, or all the dogs that you concentrated on? You might got
it's like
like
this here.
you might got
When you fill out the
This
page,
ain't
Freddie, Jason, all in one. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right, let,
So
let,
what do
let's
you
let us
call it?
answer.
That's
Let
all
us
I'm
answer.
asking.
Go
I'm
ahead,
saying this here. When you fill out the pig, okay, let's say Carl will say you did the Borderland dog and the Buck City dog. Okay, the mom and the daddy that you bought, you're gonna say breeder Buck City Kennels. You're gonna be the owner, and the Borderland dog gonna say breeder Borderland. You're gonna be the owner. Okay, once you put them two together, you the owner and the breeder, but you the one selecting them two dogs to breed. Ain't nobody else put that breed together but you. Even though it gonna say that on the paper, when somebody come at you, what these dogs off of, You're gonna say, well, yeah, I got the mama from Buck and I got the daddy from Borderland. But this right here is my stock right here, the ones I'm selling right now. This is stuff I put on the ground, blah, they spot.
Right,
So you gotta have,
right.
you know what I'm saying?
Y'all
That's right.
misunderstand.
And then,
I
cause,
get
cause listen,
it.
hold on one
I'm getting
second.
what
What?
do you say? Do you say Buck and Borderland, or do you name some dogs, or do you name the two brothers' last
So this,
names, or however you want to do it?
well,
How do
this
you
ain't
name
really
it?
hard. This ain't. Hold on. This ain't hard. You're going to do all three. You're going to name old school line and let's just say my shit. Cosmo shit is a blend of Borderland and Buck City. That's what starts my line, right? Those dogs that come off those two blended dogs are now cloud kicker dogs. And then let's say not only is he a grand champion, but he turned out to be a Rom, right? And I done bred my stuff and my stuff, which is originally a blend of Borderland and Buck City, now is its own thing, right? Now, these niggas may not know Buck City. They may not know Borderland, but they
put a
know these
nuance in it.
badass motherfuckers right in front of them. And
I put a
or
nuance.
they may not know, my dogs. They just may have heard of them, but they know that Buck City dropped shit and Borderland dropped shit, and he done blended these, and now he done got his own little thing. You dig
Let
what
me
I'm
let
talking
me
about? And this
let
is
me throw
he in
something
my
in.
yard.
Let me throw something
I,
in there.
I
Let
just
me
I
throw
just
something
feel
in
like
there.
we losing. I just feel like we losing the part that we're coveting the dog, right?
Right.
The good one that we
No.
got, right? The good one that we got, we are coveting that fucking dog. So
So
just
what?
say theoretically we went to a show, right? And we saw, damn, that's a badass dog, right? What's that dog name? Right? You know, then we'll get to asking all those fucking questions. Where you get it from? How is it bred? And all the other shit.
Yeah.
But it's
But
really was
ain't you
about the
supposed to
fucking
covet your
dog.
good dogs?
Yes. So I'm saying, I
Well,
was just
then that
asking.
ain't a bad thing.
All you did was just sum all that shit together, and that's how you brand it,
And
right?
guess what? Guess what Carver did? Guess what Carver did? He just slammed all that shit together. And guess what Williams did? He just slammed that shit together. Guess what Kobe did? He just slammed it together. This shit ain't rocket science.
I'm not, man. What are you talking about, bro? The whole
Go
It
ahead,
ain't
Buck.
discussion
rocket
Add
science.
on. Hold on, man. Hey, Buck wanted to add something though.
when a bloodline is your bloodline, this ain't a debate with me, brother. When do you call a
Right. This is what
bloodline?
I'm saying. It's not a debate with you. I'm stating the
I don't
obvious
usually
fact
do that.
that
I
this
don't
is not
usually do that.
rocket science. Once I
One at a
breed
time.
my
Come on
own
now.
line, it's mine.
We
There
ain't
is no
uninterrupted
there.
having a
Listen,
debate. Come on now.
Maurice Carver is a fucking
hold on.
sire of his own kids. He is not a bloodline. Maurice Carver is not a bloodline. He's not.
He is a man who bred a bloodline. He did
Yes,
breed a bloodline.
he's a breeder.
He
He's not a
bred a
bloodline.
Well,
bloodline.
Dogs make
hey, come on.
bloodline.
He
Listen,
bred a
he can't say
bloodline. Carver
he
has
can't
his own
say
line of
Him
dogs.
as a breeder. He's a breeder. He's not a bloodline.
So
Boudreaux
what?
is
That
not a
doesn't
bloodline.
matter.
He's a breeder. It
Guess what?
does matter.
Anybody who put dogs
That's what the
together
conversation is
and does it
about.
consistent. Hold on, we can't talk over each other.
You want
Anybody
to
who
argue with
puts
them. I don't
dogs,
want to talk no more. Talk to them.
hold on 1 second, bro. Hold on, hold on. Anybody who puts dogs together consistently from various lines of dogs has bred his own line. This ain't hard. You dig what I'm talking about? You are a breeder and you have bred your own. Carver bred his own line of dogs.
And Carver was a
listen.
breeder.
Hey,
Look,
hey, basically cause
Carver
listen,
is
bro.
not a
Basically,
bloodline.
he,
The
he
word
couldn't
Carver
he
itself
couldn't
is not a
say
bloodline. He's a
hey,
breeder.
hey he couldn't
Make
say all
bloodline.
the names he
One
used,
mic,
bro.
bro. One mic, please, bro. One mic.
Listen, he couldn't say all the dogs' names that he used to make his
But
finishing
they do
product.
it though.
He
They
couldn't
do.
One
he
mic,
couldn't say
brother.
I
Let
They
them
do
can't.
talk.
it.
Let them
We
talk.
got Red
Itchy,
Boy
bro.
Taco,
Let them
Polio
talk.
Tombstone, Red Boy Jeep Rascal. There's a whole bloodline, bro. They name it. They name all them fucking dogs together. You can pull it up, man. Type in R
Okay,
P
issue.
the little J,
Listen,
the big J. I think the little J is Jeep and the big J is Jocko. Right? That's a bloodline, bro.
listen, bro. It all goes hand in hand. What we trying to tell you, like you know what I'm saying. You can make it one
I
way.
don't
It
want to
all
say
goes
that
hand in hand.
you can't
After a
tell a man
motherfucker
how
get
to
10
brand a
dollars,
dog. You can't tell
bro.
a man
One
how
at
to
a
brand them
time,
fucking dogs. That's all I'm saying. So if you want to identify it, it's a dog's fucking name, bro. You know why name the fucking
okay.
dog?
No, it's not.
All right, listen,
It's
bro.
not.
No,
It's
bro,
the
listen.
dog.
Let me
It's
talk.
the
Let me
man.
speak.
It's the line. It's
Well,
you're
let
wrong.
me speak one time. Let me speak. Let me speak, Carl. Let me speak. Let me speak. Once you breed that shit for over 20 years, and motherfuckers coming to your yard buying dogs, a motherfucker can't say that I got a piece of the iron here, this, that, this, that, this, that. Motherfucker say I went to Carver Yard, I bought a Carver
Yep.
dog. This is the shit that he
I got
bred.
carved a
This is
dog.
he's dog. Even though these dogs got names, if you know this blood, when I leave this yard, I'm gonna say I left Carver's yard. When I leave Gunner yard, I can't say I got China Red Frisco,
So it's
Simba,
who yard it
Dynamite,
comes from. Who yard, it's who yard
Santos,
it comes from.
Chemo, Haystack. I could just say I went to Garner Yard and got
You
something
don't
at
have to
Garner
give me
for
any more
the milk.
examples. I identified it. I identified it. It's from who yard it comes from now.
Yeah, but you said Carver, but you can't talk about Carver because everybody knows it is called that we run the Carver dogs. We can't say, oh, this is Ironhead, this is this
Yeah,
one,
that's
this is that. We can't say
what I'm
25
saying.
dogs, all the shit that he used to put together. Now, Red Boy Jocko is a Pacific line. It's a Pacific Mayday, off of Mayday
Red
put
Boy
together. Red
Jocko
Boy Jocko,
Bolio
Bolio
Tombstone.
Tombstone.
Pete Rascal
That's four
is
lines.
a
That's four
bloodline, bro.
lines. That's four lines. It's
Somebody
bloodline.
branded that. I didn't brand it. Somebody branded it.
But
That's all I'm saying.
if somebody
The
like Southern
branding is
Kennels,
based on the breeder.
but if somebody like Southern Kennels done sold over and over this shit again, somebody can say I'm going to get a Southern Kennels dog. Even though we know it's Red Boy Jocko
Yeah,
Bolio
because why?
Tombstone.
You
No, because somebody else in the
know
country
what I
running
mean?
the same
I
Red
don't
Boy
get it.
Jocko Bolio Tombstone. And somebody's shit might be better than somebody else's. People might be running the same blood, but Buck City, Michael Myers shit probably better than my Michael Myers shit. So motherfucker ain't gonna say, nah, I ain't go to Josh Yard. I got it from Buck City Yard. Even though you know what I'm saying, we might be running the same blood. Nah, I went to the source. I went to Buck City, even though this other guy over here, he running the same shit. But I still want a Buck City bred dog. So
I mean,
off of that, even though the dogs got names,
if you're
even
gonna
though the dogs got a name,
if you're gonna
it's
market
just
your
about giving
dogs, man,
everybody credit, bro. It's about giving everybody credit. The
yeah, you
breeder
know,
that bred the
brand
dogs for 20 years,
your shit however you want it. And that's you. You know what I mean? What somebody else want to fucking call them because there's no consistency on how to call them. That man, you know, I just respect the nigga's brand. That's it, right? I'm gonna go to him and get the dogs from him. I don't give a fuck what he call them. You know what I mean? When I buy the fucking dog, it's mine now. You know, fuck his brand, right? Not fuck him because I might go back and shop again. You know, but if I'm building a brand, you know what I mean. My brand ain't all them other brands, man. You know what I mean? You know, because there's no
everybody bought a
consistency.
dog to start with. Everybody bought a
Yeah,
dog.
I would say
Like,
that's
you know what
wrong. I
I'm
would
saying?
say your brand is all them other brands because there were thousands of dogs and thousands of dogs that it took to breed your dog. So you got a bunch of other people's dogs in your dog. That's the whole point of a breed. They
Yeah,
they
we understand. We
generally
identify
they
the
are
breed.
gener. Hold on one second, bro. Why you keep talking over people, bro?
American Pit Bull
We can't
Terrier.
hear. We can't hear when you talking over people. Just fall
Yeah,
back
because you
for a
want to
minute.
talk and you
Let
want to
people get
argue
their
with me.
whole thought
This
out.
your premise, man. This your
I'm just
premise,
saying,
bro.
let people get
Don't
their
talk to
whole
me
thought
about
out.
your
Why do
fucking
you
premise,
why are
bro.
you trying to
You a
dominate the
fucking sucker, bro.
conversation with no
Cause
information?
you do all this shit every time, bro. That's sucker faggot
Bro,
shit,
you
bro.
just
Stop
got some,
that
you
shit.
just do sucker shit,
You
bro.
do
I'm
that
just
shit,
saying,
bro.
just
You
fall
do
back
that
for
shit
a minute.
everywhere
Let a
you
person
go,
get a
nigga.
thought out because you up
I
here
don't want to
babbling and you
talk to
don't
you.
know what you're talking about.
I don't want to talk to you, nigga. Talk to
Well, be quiet.
him, bro.
Be quiet
All
then.
right,
Every time
hey
I talk,
guys,
don't fucking jet what I'm saying, bro. Talk to
This
him, nigga.
nigga, man, this nigga's on my dick,
Nobody
bro.
do that shit but you.
Man, he want to be me so bad, man. Just be quiet, bro. Ain't nobody trying to listen to you, Itchy. Just chill off for a minute, bro. You be upset because I don't agree with what you're
Talking about, man.
saying. You just be talking, bro,
Nigga,
and
I'm
then
not
you up
upset.
back
Nigga,
and say
I'm
what
talking about
I
the
said.
shit you be
You
doing,
just
bro.
said what I
That
said.
shit's lame, bro. That
Man,
shit's
man,
lame, bro.
it's just a
god damn,
discussion,
man.
guys. It's just a discussion, bro. You ain't got to get that serious where we argue with
That's
each
what
other.
I'm saying, bro. Fall back.
About the house.
He won't let a nigga get a word in edgewise.
I want to do the fun of this nigga. Stop
He
that
won't let a
shit. That's
nigga get
all
a
I'm
word
saying.
in
Stop that.
edgewise. Go ahead, dog. Tell the people everything you fucking know, bro. Cause goddamn, you won't shut up for a fucking second,
I'm
bro.
not on the bloodlines anymore, bro. I'm on you. Stop that shit, bro. It's
Man,
corny.
you on
Niggas
some
laughing
don't
at
stop doing that whole ass shit, bro.
you. Niggas
Just
laughing
let
at you,
people get
bro.
their
Niggas
words
laughing
out,
at
man.
you, bro. You know what I
Every
mean?
time you come up here, you make it a shit show.
Man, let me get the
Every
fuck
time you
out of
come up
here,
here,
bro.
you didn't learn last
This
time
is
Buck
your
City just
premise, bro.
beat you up.
That's your premise. Don't use me for your premise, bro. That's all I'm saying. You do that shit with
I'm just
J-Bo,
saying, man,
whatever.
you can't see through your arrogance and ignorance.
You can't see it, nigga. I'm trying to identify for you. You can't see yourself, nigga. Fuck you talking
Hey,
about?
if this was the 1950s, I'd curl all y'all shit out. Be quiet.
I can't on here to ask bro a simple
Really
question,
though,
not to talk to you
really though,
or
I curse
nobody
some
else.
nigga
Like I'm
shit.
respecting the film though, because it's this nigga's
Curse
show.
ain't shit,
What's
bro.
my name? How the fuck do we name it? I
And
wouldn't
every
ask you
time you
that.
do this, bro,
Fuck
every
you
time my
got a
name
chance to
come
say
up,
shit.
this nigga gotta talk. He
Buck
gotta
ain't got
talk
a
when I
chance to
talk.
say shit.
He
Buck ain't
gotta
got a
talk
chance
when
to
I
say
talk.
shit. Because after I get through talking and asking a question, your goofy fuck ass say something. I'm not talking to you, nigga. Stand in the
I
corner.
wasn't talking to you. Fuck you.
Damn. This
I
ain't
wasn't
your
talking to
fucking
your bitch
show.
ass nigga. I'm
I
just
got when you
saying,
were
all
talking
right,
to Buck.
all right, all right. You
That's
want me to
it.
talk to you? You want me to talk to you?
That's it, bro. No,
I'm
I don't
saying,
want you to
I'm
talk
saying,
to
well,
me,
then I'm
nigga.
gonna talk to you then, nigga. I'm
Hey, I
saying
don't want
you
you to talk to
wrong.
me, nigga.
I'm saying you
I can be
wrong
wrong. I
because
can be wrong.
for the simple
Yeah, you
fact
need to
of
settle. I want
for the
Buck to
simple
tell
fact
me
of
what the
you
fuck
gotta be
he
able
said,
to understand the
because I
breed.
typed
You
in this
gotta be able to
motherfucker
understand
in
your
the Buck
line.
City
You
show,
gotta be able to
nigga. So I
understand
can
the
talk
dogs
to
that you bred
Carl.
and
Fuck
why
that
they
faggot
become
ass
your
nigga
own.
said,
So
nigga.
you're gonna
I didn't
use
know
the
these
name of the
motherfuckers
dog.
were talking
You're
to
gonna
me.
Hey
use your
man,
kennel, what your
I
shit
didn't
bred
know
from,
this
bro.
nigga talking.
it wasn't no right or wrong question, bro. It was just everybody had their own opinion about it. It wasn't no right or wrong question, bro. It ain't no right or wrong question, man. I wanted to hear what Buck
With your
wanted to
dick
answer. Shit,
ass
we just
talking.
here.
But I respected what Lockboy was saying. But let Buck fucking talk, bro. This is show.
Man, shut the fuck up, bro. Shut the fuck up. You don't run nothing, nigga. Get your own channel. You don't run nothing. I could have been done if you'd have shut the fuck up. Get some fucking decorum, you old ass goof. God damn.
So, hey, like I said,
Act like
I love
children
my
up this
name.
bitch, man.
I love my name and shit, but it ain't that important to me. If motherfucker ask me what I got in my yard, I tell the motherfucker, hey, I'm running this cracking shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got this bitch for no 20 years yet. I still got to
Yeah,
give the props to who the props deserve to go to. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But it's your right. Like we need to stop saying Eli dogs or Jeep dogs because it's been that 8, 9, 10 generation. It should be something in front of that we can say, but people don't want to say shit because of the climate that we live in. We can't say, oh, well, I'm running this such and such dog. This motherfucker's still alive. Oh, well, he a champion. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like we can't speak that way. That's another reason we still use the old names and the old lineages and stuff, man. You know, for the short answer.
Yes,
Crazy,
sir.
man.
Hey, man. Good debate, man. At the end of the day, you know.
It really ain't no debate. You dig what I'm talking about? Not nothing. No, ain't no debate. He,
You chopped up. I don't know what you did.
Sound like you on the beach and the wind blowing
Yeah,
harder than the motherfucker. And I'm sitting outside with headphones in. I
this
got
is
a
my
little
thing,
breeze.
man. But I heard some things I like, and I heard some things that really didn't make. Well, it could be refuted very easily. So let's say you did get a borderland dog and a Buck City dog. That's still at that point.
But Cosmon dog.
Yeah, that's a Cosmon dog, right? That's it, but that's not your signature. You see what I'm saying? Because of the fact the reason why it's premature is because of the fact that what if you go a totally different direction? You might still take those dogs along with you, but you might go in a totally different direction. That's why the 4 or 5 generations of hand selected, you chose those breeders, those generations that the picture, the Picasso will have more detail to it. Does that make sense? Rather than you just going to buy a dog from this guy, and you just say, okay, that's my shit. But you might go a different direction. So technically, by the time you get to those 5 generations that makes this criteria what it is, you might not even be running borderland in fucking Buck City. They might be somewhere away in the fucking corner somewhere, but majority of the dog might win a different direction. That's why.
But them still my dogs though, right?
Well, that's your breeding.
And especially if they let's just say that original Buck City borderland breeding, right?
Right.
That dog, right? Go on to be a grand champion in a round, right?
Right.
Okay. So from then on, anything that I breed to that line, that I breed to that Cosmon dog, and everything off of it, all of it's mine. Right?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, you still gonna say I'm running borderland Buck shit.
Still off of
how he just said somewhere else. How if I didn't took the dog somewhere else? They borderland Buck City, but now I didn't cut it with that Villy. You did what I'm talking about?
That's what he said. That's what Buck's saying.
So my dogs is really my dogs is really now
with the Villy too. So I mean, it's really, we could look at.
No, I'm just saying, just take it somewhere else. Just to say they just top and bottom Red Boy, and his is top and bottom Eli shit, and I breed the Villy shit to it. You dig what I'm saying? So really, Cosmon shit is a blend of the Villy, or the Crow, and Red Boy Jocko and Borderland. You dig what I'm talking about? Then it's Cosmon dogs, and then hold on, I could throw
because that's only one generation, brother.
That's what I'm finna say.
No.
Not yet.
They are totally Cosmon dogs.
No, but I'm talking about then. But once you start breeding them and you running that over and over like 2-3 times, and you don't put that all that stuff together, you don't put them together a couple of times, and these bucks are okay. Now this is your shit. But the first breeding, it'll be Billy Buck Borderland stuff, a Billy Buck Borderland / Red Boy Eli stuff. But once you put a couple breedings together of that shit, then behind that you can say, okay, this is the line I'm running. This is stuff that I'm working with. But when you first put it together, it's still using all them bloods to put it together.
It's still gonna be the same kid. Let me. It's still gonna be
missing. You know what you're gonna be missing? They don't have your signature stamp. They don't. They do. And they're not consistent. They're not consistent. You just get 1 or 2 or 3 lines. They're going to be pulling from all 3 of them lines. It's not going to be consistent.
Until you go through them breedings, and do the selective of what you're going to use to breed.
We already did that. Remember?
I'm going to run with that trait off of all these lines. Like Buck said, they're going to be pulling from everywhere. So once
we did that already. Remember?
On my own island over here. Like, because I disagree with a little bit of everybody, kind of. So I'm like,
right. Me too. Now, my thing is, we didn't already figure this out. We didn't already figure that this nigga is around, right?
That,
And
that
his
doesn't matter.
breeding.
That doesn't matter.
It
That
it
I don't
does
even know
matter
why we're
because I
even
didn't
bringing
bred
that
this
into the
stuff.
arena.
Hold on.
That doesn't
Hold on.
matter.
It does matter. I'm
The
gonna tell you
rum
why it
doesn't matter,
matters.
bro. That doesn't.
I'm gonna
A
tell you it matter.
composition of the dog doesn't
I
matter.
heard what you said, but let me get out what I'm saying. I'm saying it does matter. Why
Okay.
it matters is because I've been breeding buck, lamb, border sea dogs together and bred up a grand champion who bred up champions. Right? I've been using that, and then I take this Villy to it. Right? I take this Villy to it, and then cross that back into my dogs. You dig what I'm talking about? Cross back into my same stuff. You dig what I'm talking about? I'm gonna get consistent dogs.
Well, you
If I'm breeding for what if I'm breeding for certain traits. You dig what I'm talking about? They're not gonna call them. They not gonna call them necessarily. Buck City, Borderland,
Okay. Well, let's
Billy
talk
dogs.
about it.
They're gonna
Let's
call
talk
them.
about it.
They're gonna call them.
You cook. So let's talk about it. Let's break it down. So what traits are you getting from the Buck City Borderland dogs? What traits are you
It don't
getting?
matter. It's all hypothetical.
So the grand champion matters, everything, but this doesn't matter. Okay, so
yeah, because let's just say whatever happened, it blended and it worked it right. I found the traits I was looking for in the buck. I found the traits that I was looking for in the Achilles.
We'll just say that's A. So that's A. All right. So then you get your ROMs and that shit's great, right? Then you cross it to something Villy shit, right? Mm-hmm. So at that point, what traits are you getting right here?
The same ones that I was looking for in the two parents and that I found in the child and that I found in the children.
So you're still getting A, right? So you crossed that shit and it didn't change at all. That's what you're saying.
No. We keeping it consistent.
Really, and it didn't change. That's what you just said.
No, it's getting better, but it's getting better.
I'm on my own on this one. Go ahead.
But asking you, what are you looking for from the village to add to what you got? No, if you ain't getting nothing different,
what I'm saying is, I wouldn't listen. It may be that Villy is showing me the traits that I was looking for in the very first two dogs when I bought them from Buck City and Borderland. I'm looking for the drive, everything that you want. The drive, the consistency, the prey drive, the ability to breed offspring. What I'm saying is I'm going to breed to a dog. Hold on. You asked me what I was looking for, right? I'm looking for everything, right? And then I'm looking for something to add to that. This is all hypothetical. I'm looking for something to add to that to keep that going, but make it a little better. Yeah. So I was just hypothetically throwing the Villy dog in there.
That was literally 3 breedings. So you technically didn't even get to the third generation. You know what I'm saying? Like you bred those 2 dogs, then you add the Billy dog, and then let's say you do one more breeding. That's only 3 breedings. Good luck. You got ROM, all this shit. 3 that shit's phenomenal, dog. It is, but I think it's just a little bit more work than that. And then to say
but that's my 4 breedings. That's my 4 breedings to become mine. I done bred my shit back together, and I done made this dog around.
See, it's not just like it takes more than 4 breed just to get 4 generate. Like it takes more than that. Like you gotta have a top and a bottom to the pedigree too. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think nobody denying that or arguing that, bro.
He talking about is the selective breed, not the breedings you doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like what you looking for, and you bring it back to your stuff. Like to me, it's all about when they ask you about a dog, about your dog, it's all about giving the dog credit, the breeder credit. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna use the dog name, you're gonna use the breeder name too. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way
I said that from the get-go. You're gonna use all 3. You're gonna use all 3. You're gonna use the dog, you're gonna use the breeder and the line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, you know what I'm saying? Especially like I try to tell you, motherfuckers trying to sell a dog. They ain't gonna say this motherfucker on Cujo that he know that ain't gonna light your eye. Motherfucker say, oh well, this real boy Jeep Rascal. Okay, now that's gonna light your ass up. sometimes it can be marketing tools. You know what I'm saying? Like he just said why they use the name and why they don't say the dog name right now. You're gonna use the dog name right now. Well, this off my dog such and such. This off the daughter.
But
The moment is such and such, but it come down off of this from that to that. You know what I'm saying? That's just dog talk. How people gonna describe the dog?
yeah,
It's showing this.
but the
It's
problem with
showing that.
that is when you say Cujo, he should get excited. Why? Because he already, as a dog man, should have did his due diligence and seen Cujo was great. Why are you breeding to him
Exactly.
if you don't even know what
But
the fuck he do?
no, we know that part. We know that part, Carl, of doing your research and knowing what you're getting. But he's saying like, why do people use them names? It isn't just the same way. Even though when I got Kraken, I got Turbo from Kraken. Yeah, I got praise. It was praise. 1.2 was praise. This dog did this. Christian Rock was praised. But it also say this is Mayday, Buck, and I forgot the other line. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna use them words too. Even
now
though we
that's
done
what you
told
that's
them about
what
the daddy.
y'all use. I use just the name of the dog. Like
You
when I
know,
say Christian Rock, I never say what's in the back of her pedigree ever.
no, but I'm talking about like when you go on the website, you're gonna say these are Buck Bolio such and such dogs. But when you click the pedigree, you're gonna say the name of the mom and daddy. You know what I'm saying?
But when you breed in a family of dogs, it really don't even matter because either way, those are Buck City dogs.
That's why I say you get a love to the
So this is
breeder.
why you gotta use the individual. You gotta use the individual. You gotta use the breeder in the kennel, and you have to use the line
Use
of
the
descent
dog.
from.
The dog itself.
That's what I
The
said. You
dog
gotta use
itself.
the
Yeah.
individual. Hold on. You gotta use just Mike. Just Mike. Right? You use just
Yeah.
Mike. But Mike is a Buck City dog. Brad, you dig what I'm talking about? He's a Buck City dog. He come off some other shit though. He down from some lynch shit and Malcant stuff. So you would say all three,
But you
right?
also say
But the thing is, when I see Cujo, when I see Mike, that should be the only reason that I'm breeding to him. That I synced him was good.
you got no doubt about it. You gotta do your research.
That should be the first
But
time.
but breeders and kennels, they give everybody credit. They get a breeder credit, they get the old man credit, they get an old dog credit, and they get a new dog credit. It's just
Who's gonna give me
basically
credit
dog
in
talk,
four?
man.
Who's gonna give me credit
It's
in
just
4
dog talk.
generations though? Remember,
And
I didn't already bred my 4 generations.
and like I'm like with Buck though, like when you're doing selective breeding, like that shit take time. You don't know which one it is. You sell a couple pups, you maybe want to go back to this, you want to go back. You gotta watch
Right.
these motherfuckers grow up.
Some of
Like
those
this shit take 7 to
every
8,
breeder's
7 to
not
10
gonna work.
years is what
Like
we talk
it
about. We
might
talk
take
about a
it
10-year
might take a long
process.
time.
No doubt, no
Talk about
doubt.
a
So
10,
what I'm
you
saying
know,
is, so what I'm
you talk
saying
about a
is,
10-year
when you
process.
whip up that pad, when you open up that pad, and the whole 4 generations don't say nothing but Cosmon. He triple bred grand champion liquor. I told J-Bo I'm gonna name my champion grand champion liquor. That was the funniest shit I ever heard. So when I get my grand champ, I'm gonna name grand. Let's say he 3-4 times grand champion liquor. I done whipped it up, whopped it up till it's
Yeah,
tight.
but you talking about the
You
whole
dig what I'm talking about?
middleman.
And my whole pad is nothing but Cosmon. Y'all
That's the
trying, and I
process.
do all the breeding. I didn't get all the breeding since Borderland Buck City, right? Since I went to their yard. It's some years down the line.
And how many years? And how many years you think that took?
It's some years down the
now.
line.
They're gonna take 10 years to do 4 generations.
I done bred up a full pedigree, 4 gens of nothing but my shit.
And,
You dig what I'm
4
talking about?
generations
Nothing but
take
my
10
shit.
years.
And should I
It's
let you
yours.
You know what I'm
because
talking
we
about?
can't even
Let's just say I got
Hey,
out
we gonna be
of some
respectable.
crow in there. Let's just say,
You gotta be
and then I
respectable.
put an out of some crow in that shit. You dig what I'm talking about? Y'all trying to say them after them 4 pedigrees don't say nothing but Cosmon in there. Them
It's
still
yours.
Buck City
It's
dogs?
we're
yours.
not the Cosmo,
It's
we're not
yours.
saying that. I mean, if you
Nah,
want to
that's
start an
definitely
argument and then
yours.
I just say that,
Okay,
then yeah, let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah, we
But we're not
definitely ain't say
saying
that
that.
shit.
We're not
That's
saying that.
definitely yours. If you got 4 generations, everything in that motherfucker say cars, that's definitely yours. But that's gonna take
Okay.
10 to 20 years
I
to
mean,
get to
however
that
many
if you're
years.
doing it the
If you're
right way.
city boy, that should have take you 6 months. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the
God
point.
damn.
The point is,
Hey,
we're not making that point. I said that the minimum standard, this is what other breeders from different breeding, different practices, they all came together, and this is what most agree on, right? This is like
Breeder
a
for a
survey
minute.
that was done.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's 4 to 5 generations, consistent breeding where you personally select each pairing.
Mm-hmm.
You see repeating traits, look, drive, structure, temperament. It got 10 other ones, right?
Right.
Dogs start to stamp with your signature. That means that fuck where you got that dog from. Fuck Borderland, all this shit, Buck City, Villy, fuck all that. These dogs actually start to stamp your signature. That's important,
That's right.
guys. I
That's
don't
right.
have much wind today, but it's the importance that sticks out. So not one of those, not two of those, but all of these criterias fall under the category. And I think that it should be that. I think that should be the bar.
That's right.
I've said on other live streams where my stance was a lot more lenient because of maybe viewership or whatever, but I kind of like this standard. That says a
Yeah.
minimum standard too. It says minimum
Mm-hmm.
standard. Okay. So we just can't go get one dog from this guy, one dog from that, and just because it's your shit. Yeah, technically, if you own the bitch, then you're technically the breeder. And then if you own the litter, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you're technically, you bred the dog. You the breeder and the owner, right, of the litter, until you get rid of a dog. Then he's the owner. He breed it. We know that. We know that.
Right.
But this right here, this is huge because you don't have a signature. When I bred them two dogs together, that wasn't the signature. I mean, they might throw smack down in the middle. This is a totally different dog. They all came out a totally different color too. And this is just the shit. We're going to do this breeding 6 times, and we ain't going to worry about crossing it up at all. My thing is, along that road of you getting this 5 generations and those selecting each pairing and the look, the drive, the structure, like it might take you 10 generations to get the look, the drive, the structure, temperament, all of this shit, them traits repeating, and then it might take you 20 years or 30 to stamp your shit. The 5 years, I mean, good luck. They might be good dogs and shit. That's why I said that really don't matter, because we could apply this to goddamn Chihuahuas or whatever the fuck breed. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what breed it is. It don't matter if he's a champion or not.
Mr. Buck,
But no,
you
go ahead.
the dog, Mike, right? You built a brand. You was breeding dogs before Mike, so the brand was already there, right? So, but when they identify Mike Myers' dog, they're gonna say Buck City, but Buck City wasn't the breeder. It was Mal Kent and the casino guy. I can't remember where the fuck he's from, up north somewhere, whatever, right? But
No,
you respect the brand because
he
you
wasn't.
brand it as
That guy
a
wasn't the
Buck
breeder.
City dog. He
But now I
wasn't.
hear you.
Mal Kent wasn't the breeder.
Now you said Mal Kent breeder. Yeah, I could agree with that. But then you tried to throw some other nuances, and that
No, I'm
doesn't
saying the
register.
other dude owned the dog or whatever. I don't know it. I don't know him personally, so I
Well,
thought his name was.
that's what I'm trying to correct you. He's not the breeder. He wouldn't be considered a breeder
No,
at
I didn't
no
say he was a
stretch of the
breeder. I said
imagination.
Mal Kent was a breeder, and the casino guy owned the dog, or whatever. So, but you built a brand, and the brand is associated with the dog. People respect the brand, right? Because they did. They said they called it a Buck City dog.
Okay.
So it didn't take that many fucking generations for someone to respect your brand. That's all I'm saying, right?
It didn't
It's kind of
take what?
disrespectful for some people. It didn't take years for someone to respect your brand, right? With that
Well, no,
dog, but you had
if they
dogs
want
before.
something, well, no, if they want something, if a dog is special, and you want something off of him, you got to go to the guy with the dog, right?
Yes.
That don't
So
have nothing to
now
do with nothing.
we're gonna use a different example, right? We're gonna use a line. No disrespect or nothing to the line or whatever. I'm not gonna use my views, but Walkmart, right? I'm not gonna go to Walkmart to get a dead eye dog. I'm gonna go to the brother that had the dog because that dog, I guess you want to call it special.
No,
That
because you
dog is
can't
special.
get a dead-eye dog from Walmart because they don't have any. That's simple.
Exactly. So I'm gonna go to the brother, even
That has
if
the
he did
dog.
have
That's what I said. So
even
what
if
do
he
we need
did have
another
more yellow
example for?
dogs, right? If he did have more yellow dogs, and I think he just got out of dogs not too long ago. But I'm gonna go to the brother with the dog that's special, not do whatever the fuck bred that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Well,
So the thing
that's
with
your
like
preference because they I mean at that point they would still be yellow dogs other places, but if you're talking about Deadeye himself, that's a dog himself. See, that's
yes,
being more specific. That's being more not what you're saying, like looking in the back of the pedigree and you're trying to go off of the like people are going off of the dogs right there. If you want a Michael Myers dog, you're gonna get it tight. You're not gonna get no kids, but what are you
hmm
gonna do? Are you gonna get a grandkid? Are you gonna get a great grandkid? I mean, that's what's going on. Is it gonna be heavy? Is it gonna be 50% Michael Myers? Is it gonna be 62.5? Is it gonna be 37.2? It's gonna be the percentage of that dog. Now, whatever happens after that, that's just the direction that Buck City chose to breed in. So I'm not making the line at all. The line just gonna do what it do and just create itself.
hmm
Those were the
And
dogs
and
that I
both people get
selected
credit.
and chose and bred out. Now go ahead. I didn't hear you.
Buck City get credit, and Michael Myers get credit. You know what I'm saying? Like you still, you know what I'm saying? Like the dog, the man behind the dog get credit, and the dog get credit. Yeah, he Michael Myers dog. And motherfuckers say, okay, but this shit that Buck City put together because these great grandkids now. So it might
Yeah,
be
yeah. But
50%,
there's been
25%,
way better dogs than Michael
75%.
Myers that came out of that
all
shit.
I'm
Like he
saying is
produced way better than he was.
some people's brand is gonna overshadow a breeder, an owner. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
Right,
It's not an argument.
Yeah.
I'm just
Oh
identifying.
yeah.
That's
You're
it.
right. You're right, bro. Yeah, ain't no
right,
argument. You're right. That's just
right.
like Mayday. Like Mayday is a household name. Nobody don't give. Even though he got a breeder behind him who the victor them and shit, it's still motherfucking Mayday get the most of the get the most of the shine.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't
people
think
Motherfucker
might
who
he.
not
say
know.
don't
People might not know the Nipsey dog. I had a dog named Neighborhood Nipsey. People
Ernest
might
Hollis.
not know
mhm.
him, so you got to go back to shit that you know. You feel me? He was better than Michael Myers in all shape of the imagination. He better fucking dog. Look better, confirmation, everything. Produce better, everything. He was a better fucking dog. He was a son, right? There was another one that was better, that I had a few. And so when you look at it like that, yeah, people don't know those dogs though. So they got to go off of what they know. That's why people refer to back in the ped. Now, if you don't know Michael Myers shit, which a lot of people do, so I don't have to just say Mayday Dragon Lady all the time and Lady Doll and all of those. I don't have to bring that up. You pretty much know that this dog is the tight form of whatever the fuck is behind it. So you could just save yourself some time and just stamp that right there. Now, some dogs are scatterbred. So if you're telling me, just like I was at the dog show, beautiful dogs, I asked how they're bred. They say Alice in Wonderland type shit or whatever. Like, I don't know what the fuck that is. They say it comes down off of this and blah, blah, blah. These guys, I don't know what that is. So they
Yeah,
had some of the dogs, a motherfucker had to be like, shit, old family? Does it go back? Like it goes way back. And none of the dogs in 10 generations you'll probably know. You won't know none of them. And I'm a ped smith. And I didn't see none of those dogs in the pedigree. I had to click way far back. So it's
yeah,
a little bit for conversation's sake, and it's a little bit for lack of wanting to put in the work or get the dog to that somebody will respect, like you just said, you know, get a line of dogs. He's really a good producer. People really raise these puppies up. They really turn their yard out and end up being the best fucking dog you ever had and shit, like Drake and shit. You know, that still happens. You buy a dog from somebody, you buy dogs, everybody done bought an average of 4 to 10 dogs, I'm sure. If you're a dog man, you really in this shit on an average, you know. And you could say which one is the best. That's not that hard. You know, oh, no, I like her a little bit better than her. You know, that's real easy. So when you
Like
get
with the
say
seat
that's
line.
the best dog they ever had, that's when you know you're on to something.
Right, because I don't like that you dig what I'm talking about. People don't take into account the man and how he was actually breeding. Because you know, the brother Mal can't had him, the other brother had him, and Buck had him, but how they were breeding in the offspring that come off of them proved who was doing the best with the line. You dig what I'm talking about? And is it being put forward? Like he said, he bred a nip, he bred another thing, and you know they've been carrying this line for what, about a decade now. You dig what I'm talking about? So it's the consistency in the dogs, but it's also that eye and that consistency and that in the man. You dig what I'm talking about? You can't discount who Buck was breeding to. You dig what I'm talking about? Because to make a better dog, everybody can't say he had he bred the mic and made a better dog. Everybody can't say that. I say everybody can't say they had on Mike and bred them to whatever they was bred to and bred better dogs. Right? That was just all around better than Mike.
Some of them motherfuckers was. Some of them motherfuckers was. There was one named Mikey the Great. I didn't breed him. He was
But everybody can't say that.
My first litters. And that
everybody can't say that though, Buck.
Well, it wasn't that many people that owned them.
Right.
You know, it wasn't. There was a guy that did about 4 breedings. The guy that he said was up in Minnesota or whatever, he did about 4 breedings. And then Mr. White and them guys, you know, they did you know, maybe like 6 breedings or something, you know.
Yeah.
And then I did the majority of it. You know, I did all the heavy lifting, the breedings that they did that worked out. I bought the bitches to double up and repeat the shit and do the, you know, to make sure that everything was running at the right pace. You know, sometimes it's the right kind of car, but you don't like how people are driving it. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute, you know, this motherfucker needs to be like this. You know, this is, you don't need to be sitting in the shadow, not getting bread till he's 5 years old. Okay. You know, we're not gonna do that.
I get what you say. Like, it's like driving a Ferrari 25 miles an hour.
Yeah. Well, you gotta know it's a gift horse, and half of that is to have offspring. See, I had offspring first. The first was offspring. It was like, okay, these motherfuckers is what it is. This is what it is. Okay, well, let me try to line up the whole fleet. I lined up a 5 breeding fleet. All 5 bitches was going to Mike. This is before I owned them. And then the first one we did, it didn't work out. So that changed the dynamic. It's like, well, fuck. I could create good dogs. That's not a problem. I know I got good studs that I can use, that I've been using, creating good dogs. So the need for Mike was never there. I had a son named Fred. You know, I didn't need Mike. Motherfuckers told me I'm a dumb motherfucker if I get rid of Fred, because Fred came in the deal too. They was like, man, you a dumb motherfucker if you get rid of Fred for Mike. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a different territory. So then you walk into it, that first breeding didn't work. I'm still thinking like, okay, I want to really lock in with this dog while he's still around.
It didn't work, or it didn't take.
It didn't take. It didn't work.
Okay.
Didn't take. Whatever. The shit.
Okay.
No pups.
Okay.
It was an AI. We did an AI through the mail. It didn't work. You know. So I'm looking at either having to send my bitches and you know all of this. And then what I was paying for Mike pups when I was getting my Mike pups when they was young and shit, raising them up, it just was a better idea for me to just get the chef and bring him in. Like, you know what? Let me just buy him and bring him in. That way I could do the breeds that I need to do, collect them, do all of that shit. And whatever happens to him, if he dies or, you know, whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? I have a whole bunch of offspring and to play with and to find out which ones were the ones to carry on the torch. And, you know, that Nipsey was one of them. That Mikey the Great was one of them. Baby Osiris was one of them. It was a lot of them. The Giant Expectations bitch was one of them. The KBs, the Singing Bullets, the SPs, you know, like he had a shitload of good ass offspring. Everybody didn't have a chance to breed. You know, Nipsey didn't have that many breedings. Phenomenal. You know, I mean, per capita, you know, you know, it's unbelievable, you know, what they were able to produce. So it wasn't just Mike. You progress and you move forward. You know, the dogs get better over the time. He got grandkids. He got great grandkids out here. You know, Mike Wade, fifth generation.
Hey,
He's still back there. You know.
Last night we was talking on Tales from the Swamp, man. Y'all go over there, sub, like, share, man. We was saying that one of the things in essential that a dog man needs is the time and patience to put these dogs together. What you think?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be a breeder, I just wouldn't recommend it. You know, that's breeder talk. But everybody ain't no breeder, bro. Everybody's not gonna have the time, the patience, and it's not about that. You can further better your career by fucking with breeders, bro. It's like if we doing music, I'm Kanye's my motherfucking brother. You know, why the fuck am I bumping my head trying to make a fucking hit when I got Kanye right here? I could have a way better career if I use that right there, that template right there. So it might just work out for you. Some people enjoy whipping up shit for people. I would rather people just say, you know what? Fuck all that. Let me do what I do. Let me go to these shows. You whip this shit up. I got you, bro. That's what kind of chef I am. I get tired of seeing people going in the kitchen burning themselves. I do. I say, damn, bro, you could have just sat back, fired up that boat with the meat on the grill and relax, bro. Let me cook. That's a breeder. It's not this big ass community with 5,000 fucking breeders, bro. It's not. So it does take time and patience and stuff, but a lot of that will go in one ear and out the other, bro. It will. Because it's a lot of shit that you got to understand with these dogs.
You got Dr. Dre, right? It said Daz produced most of that shit. He's a good producer, but he only got the brand. You know what I mean? The brand matters. The
You said
brand
what?
matters. You know, Dr. Dre, you know, doing this heyday or whatever. Daz was
Right.
producing a lot of that shit, but Dr. Dre stamp was going on. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the brand matters. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, when we're talking about good dogs, it don't, because you can
Nah,
have a big ass brand, but the dogs could be crap, so it's not backing. You know, it's
Yeah.
not reflecting what
Yeah,
you're out here with. So with
And
dogs,
I've seen it the
I don't
total
know.
opposite way too. That the brand ain't shit, but the dogs is fire, right? Don't nobody even know about the
it's
brand of
like
dogs, but they
good
fire. I've
dog.
seen that too.
Good dog is where you find them. But if you find one
That's right.
good, just stay with that sort. You got a
That's
good
right.
breeder. Like you don't got to go to a million motherfuckers. Stay right there with that same source. Why change? It's just like you hitting the lotto every time, and then you say, well, this ain't good enough. I'm still gotta go over here and not hit the lotto. Like that wouldn't make no sense.
Hey,
You know
but
what I'm
when you
saying?
told
If you
me,
got a good one, stay with them.
hey, Cosmo, look at this. You should do this. What I say? Yup. I just nodded my head. Yup.
So
You
what
dig
other
what I'm
dogs
talking
did you
about?
find? what other dogs are you breeding other than Mike dogs, Buck?
You said
Oh
what?
yeah, homie. What other your partners breeding other than Mike dogs? Y'all got a different line? It's just all Mike. Focus on Mike dogs.
No, no, it's a lot of bolio shit. It's not, you just can't go, you run yourself into a brick wall if you just got one line of dogs. I'm because I seen it. I seen it. I've been around long enough to watch kennels crash and burn, trying to just be selfish and keeping the same blood and trying to run it like Don Mayfield and all those where you just see the name, just yeah, that's cool. That it looks good. It's something to talk about. Motherfucker got niggerino, the red boy. But to me, coming from the bottom, I knew that it wasn't about a pedigree. It was about actually having good dogs. And if you put a dog out there, I'm such a perfectionist to where I don't want not one of them to be bad. So I'm gonna line breed, judiciously distribute. What did my boy say? Garner said, I'm gonna judiciously distribute these genetics. And just like I got some bolio shit with like Lady Dog way like in the 7th generation. So that's a whole line of bolio shit with the same Lady Dog, Michael Myers Lady Dogs type of shit way back. We picked up a son of Hitler. Hitler been gone about 25 years. Okay. Krabs Hitler, pure
Yeah.
DNA profiled, everything, because we know that crossing that blood, that Lynch blood, Michael Myers, we had a little Lynch, was one of the tightest Mayday bred dogs on the planet. Little Mayday, direct damn near replica. We know all of these dogs, although you want to continue to keep that line going, rather if it's Barracuda, whatever, it's a lot of good work put into there, but you want to always make sure that you got the outs to go with it. That's why this is years ago, we talking damn near a decade ago when I imported the dogs from Ecuador, right? To get that same Mayday Stone City type of influence and not just take what everybody keeps saying Eli. I just wasn't going for it. I was like, wait a minute, these aren't Eli dogs, just like we're talking today. It's just not Eli dogs. I don't want to fucking hear it. It's not over 10%. I didn't want it. So what's the next best thing that you could get to get that same type of hybrid vigor? You want to create a type of hybrid vigor. You want kids that are better health-wise, genetically, everything superior, than their parents. And so you bring in that, but it was a out of state source. So when we're talking about signature and shit like that, sometimes you got to do something like that. Sometimes Starbucks got to go to Dubai and get some coffee beans more than just the shit down the street, because when you get the shit down the street at the same Safeway that everybody's going to, it doesn't have the signature taste to it. You understand me? And when you're cooking, make sure you have that little neck to that dove, that little dove neck or that goose neck when you're cooking, and you drop that little sprinkle on top of that shit, man, and make that shit good, man. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta love it. You hear my voice. I'm excited about this, about telling you about the process. If they're not excited about this, then they're probably in the wrong thing. If you're not willing to go sit down and all of that for this shit, tell them motherfuckers, fuck you. I'm coming to get my dogs, motherfucker. Put me on the news, put me whatever. I'm walking up in this fucking courtroom. I'm speaking for mine. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not about that, being a breeder probably ain't going to be for you, bro, because you're going to get too attached. You're going to take more losses than wins. It's been a lot of losses with this shit. I think we just been talking about the good shit, but, let me talk about the bad shit. There's been plenty haters. It's been plenty losses. It's thousands of dollars down the drain. People not appreciating shit. You turn motherfuckers on. They from nobody even know your motherfucking ass. Now motherfucker know you, and then you turn your back on you. You go through a lot being a breeder. Fake friends pop up. They want the bloodline. They've been hearing about this shit. Let me get up under this guy. And then when he falls, yeah, yard sale. Yeah, The Buck City dogs, you know, the stocks. People think about the stocks. You're a stock. I'm a fucking stock. Michael Myers stock. That's all. The Michael Myers shit gone. Nobody could get that blood no more. That shit gone. It's over. That's what it is. You be just like your brother's going hard with no fucking bloodline. The reason why I said that because they don't support the magazine either, you know, and that's what Donald Trump would do. It's the terror. You know, we're
You
not
see what
fucking
that
around.
motherfucker said
You
about
know,
the
you don't
Redskins?
support what we got going on, and that's what it is. You know, so
He
I don't
changed
want
the
to be
brand name.
somebody that say that I used to have this and used to have that. I want to be able to say that I still got that. You know, I got 4 straws off of Little Lynch. We look at his pedigree. He's one of the tightest fucking man. I'm telling you, it's not gonna get more tighter than that. And you keep it, you cherish it. We tried to use it one time, it didn't work. I still
He
got
said
4.
he had to make 2 straws, you know.
You
But
said
you know,
what?
he could throw his own. I ain't throwing no punches for him, but he said he had to make 2 straws.
Now
I
he
don't know
probably
how
do.
great of a dog that is.
Now he probably do, and he's hanging on to that shit, and that's good. And I did see some other shit, you know. Shout out to Gameville, you know. We talk shit, you know, but we just wipe it off because it's nothing. But you know, we talk shit. You should be able to handle it. Everybody should be able to handle it. I shout out to Gameville. They have been every time I see them, I always go back and look. Like, let me see if this motherfucker got this May 2 back up in there. You got the little May 2 back up in there, no matter what they've been whipping up. So technically, yeah, the blood is still out here, but I'm pretty sure he will want to have it tight, and that's what the straws coming into handy. You know, you got that shit back in the 4th, 5th generation. It is kind of getting pushed up off the screen. So what do? You take one of the best renditions of whatever has been able to be formulated by Gameville or you know whoever, and you throw that May 2 shit right back on top of that, and hope for the
Like
best.
the
You
Macho
know,
Buck dogs. You didn't think about adding the Macho Buck dogs with the stuff?
I already did. I got
Man,
you know, I've had dog. I've
listen,
had it
man.
backwards. I run the inside out socks and flip flops. I run it all. I got dogs. You know, well, there was one that I had. I won't speak on him, but if you look at his pedigree, it's like having Macho Buck without Macho Buck. You know, like you got all this fucking buck, all this buck, all this good Mayday, but Macho Buck's not even present in there. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the Macho Bear, you got the Black Bear the goat. I threw that stuff in there. I had King Charles for a minute. He was a son of the Puma dog. You know, I like the Freedom Born shit. You know, we've been able to cross that up in there. Macho Buck dogs, they definitely bring a lot of good things to the table. And I noticed Macho Buck, Barracuda, both of those dogs, when Mike was alive, I knew that, you know, there'll be some good ass dogs. Like every time we took them back to some Barracuda shit, good dogs. Every time we took them back to the Macho Buck dogs, good dogs. So now I've been
And that's
already
just like what
kind of
the
looking
damn
at.
on the crab shit but we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? The Hitler, he said he had to make a move. They had to make a move. And go back and get that wood. You know what I'm
Yeah, so
saying? And get that shit and implement it back in there. Damn right.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't no
That's something
guarantee.
else,
The Hitler
you
male,
know.
he's still young. It ain't no guarantee. Maybe we breed him and open him up and, you know, breed him and shit. And maybe he don't produce shit. It happens. But the
Yeah, but
attempt was made. The deposit was made. You know what I'm saying?
gotta
And
no
so,
biscuit, no biscuit.
right,
You know,
right.
straight up,
There you go. There you go. But nah, man,
straight up.
I'm a nerd, man. I be on this shit, man. When motherfuckers be sleep, I be thinking of reinventing and creating that good. That Macho Girl Reba Girl. I had one off of Moxie and I think it was Macho Sam. So Macho Sam with the Reba Girl, Macho Buck Reba Girl. This bitch was right off of Macho Sam and Moxie. So that's just a triple dose of Macho Buck tight. We took that bitch to Michael Myers, and they also before I got Michael Myers, actually my first bitch that I got off of Michael Myers that I ever owned she was off of a daughter of Macho Buck. So Michael Myers bred to a daughter of Macho Buck. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I understand everybody's dog ain't gonna get that type of pussy. You just not. But he
Straight
did.
up.
He did. Yeah, no, I'm just saying, bro. You know, we all, you
Straight
know,
up.
some of our dogs, you got a chance to breed to great dogs now, but you're not. You're just gonna go breed it to the dog next to him, which is fine, but you're just not thinking outside the box because creating a bloodline is being objective to everything. You know, everything can be the stars could bring me. You know, this shit, I don't know what's gonna happen until, you know, I get somebody that I want to breed off of. And then of course it's going to be heavy on that, but you always got to have your crosses and your things to bring in. I think that Michael Myers with that Villy, like we was talking about, that combination was incredible. You know, it keeps creating incredible dogs. There's obviously a lot of potency in those lines still. Sometimes you might get a blackberry off the bush and it might not have that much flavor, or get a watermelon to be a better example. Yeah, they all look good on the outside, but that motherfucker might not be as juicy, or he don't have that flavor to him. And then you got this one over here. He's so damn juicy. Shit. We should have just got 2 of those instead of getting 1 of each. You know what I'm saying? So you know what it is. Some dogs just keep that potency with them, and some of them are able to pass it on better than others. And it's your job to pay attention. That's all.
Yeah, what happened with the heavy red boy that went back into the Macho Buck dogs, the Alpo? Like what happened with that strain?
And I think that was a great strain, man. That was a crazy good strain of dogs.
They ain't preserved it right.
Shit might be still out there. Shit.
Okay.
You said what
Shit,
happened to it?
so it says it's still out there
Yeah,
in the
I
book.
was saying what happened with the strand. It was like popular for a minute, then it just kind of, faded a little bit.
Yeah, no, I think it's still around. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
me
what
too, man.
Alpo's sister been out here breeding up shit. You know, I mean, that's just a macho bear back to the boomer dog.
Yeah, it's like more red boys.
Yeah, Macho Bear, he got as much offspring as goddamn Tab, you know, so
Yeah,
I'm
that's,
sure
I
those
think
dogs are around.
Damn right.
But that line, I took a bitch off Alpo. That was one of the best breedings. I mean, you see it in the magazine. That was one of the best breedings. I took a daughter, she was a direct daughter of Alpo, and I took her to Michael Myers. And that's when I created that Nipsey dog. Like he was better than Mike. Nipsey was better than Mike, bro. You know, that dog, I love that dog. That dog, he was something else. Of course, when you raise them up, it hits a little different. You know, you bred them and shit. You know, it's hit a little bit different. But he was every stretch of the imagination. You know, a better all around dog. And he produced
Fellas,
his ass off.
Ain't that the point?
So
what's going on, fellas? How y'all?
7-0.
7-0
Better believe
Saul.
it. You
I
better
thought you was
believe it.
8-0. I thought you was 8-0.
Shit, man, I'm goddamn 100-0. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
we ain't gonna win. But we ain't gonna goddamn, we ain't gonna toot our own horn and shit. Shit, you the
Yeah.
one goddamn, hey, you the one with all the knockouts and shit. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying? I was in
I've
there
been at
trying to defend you.
PetSmart though. It don't count when you
Hey,
at PetSmart wrestling with old ladies
oh,
and shit. You know, like
shit,
yeah,
that count too,
I
cause hey, them
DDT'd a
old
couple
ladies.
old ladies. You know, that's not really
Hey,
nothing to sneeze at. You
shit.
know,
Hey, you slip on them old ladies, they'll kick your ass. You know what I'm saying?
No.
They
Put a
gotta be
pistol
on your
on you.
shit. Yeah, they gotta be on
yeah.
your shit.
DDT
You
an
know what I
old
mean?
lady or two. You know,
Hey, if my grandma was still living, boy, she'll be a tough out for any man. I'm tell you that shit right now. Tough out. You
I guess they
did.
hey, so Vito say you
What's up?
73.
What's up? Oh, Vito
in the
always.
chat.
Hey, Vito just want to give me losses and shit, man. Cause back in the
DMV
day,
Vito.
back in prehistoric time, we cleared the DMV out, man. We cleared that shit out, man. It made some grass and shit, man. That's all. And it's documented. It's documented though. That's the thing. He can't never take away. He can talk all the shit he want and give me all the losses. I'm gonna see him Saturday though. I'm gonna see him Saturday. I'm gonna shake his motherfucking hand and give him a hug.
Man, shout
I
out my
appreciate
nigga
all y'all
Vito,
help and
man.
Saturday.
In
That
North
nigga's a
Shout
Carolina.
out the
bulldog.
goddamn
Shout out my
M6
nigga
Vito, man.
Vito, man.
He just want to give me losses. Bad as a motherfucker, man. We
Hey,
supposed to be together. We supposed to be
hey,
together and shit, man. A
hey,
team.
Saw going to the pit picking. So you got to go live for us at the pit picking on Saturday, man.
Man, I'm up there punching niggas every time. I'm a punch going. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. I'm
You
fucking
gonna
with
buy
you.
your
Picking.
dog, bro?
Hell no.
No.
I'm just out there hunting, man. You know what I'm saying? All these niggas talk all that shit. But I'm gonna see when I step up in that motherfucker. I want to see them step to. I'm gonna be good until it's time not to be good. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta give me some of that cotton ham shit.
Oh yeah, boy.
I'm stepping out in
The boy
something new
said,
on that
boy.
motherfucking ass. I'm stepping out in
The boy
something new
said,
on that motherfucking ass too. Goddamn.
Mm-hmm.
yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Ask for the love price, man. That's all I was
Mm-hmm.
asking. Dog. Yeah, man.
I'm coming, girl.
I gotta get ready. I
I'm
gotta take
coming,
my
girl.
ass to work.
A lot.
Yeah.
Lot. I'm gonna goddamn shoot the red eye down there for you, man. And you wanna come?
You should
I'm
go
gonna shoot
shoot
the
the red
red
eye.
eye down there, man. Yeah.
Cussing my
Shit,
dog got
let me know. Hey, hit me up. You know, hit me up. You know, you gotta hit me up, man.
Where is that South Bottom joint?
And let me know what's cooking.
I should try to buy that jack today, dog. Look,
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Yeah, this
So,
was actually a good this was actually a fire conversation though. You dig what I'm talking about? I think we was, kind of looking at things a little different, but we ended up seeing it the same and just how we got there. You dig what I'm talking about? Either way, we was both putting in years and years worth of work. You dig what I'm talking about? Breeding strategies and programs and don't none of that shit really work till it worked. You know what I mean? It's
tell me,
just a
man,
hope and a
take
dream.
my ass
It's a
to
hope
work.
and a dream till it pop off.
Back over here. My bad, the truck loud, man. Let me mute it. Shit, again. I could drive through some gravel and shit.
Hey man, them hogs bigger than I thought they was. Them hogs are a lot bigger than I thought they was. And they way more physical than I thought they was too. But just looking at the screen just reminded me of that. They way more physical than you think they is. Even a little one will give your dog a problem if he ain't a dog.
Grandfather was a hard worker. Wow, he made a living. And it farmed and
Mm-hmm.
shit.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
Don't oink oink
Hey,
either,
Itchy.
man.
Hey, my homeboy was listening to y'all, right? Talk about the dogs and shit, right? My homeboy say, man, whoever that dude is, man, he won't let nobody fucking talk. I say, man, that's Itchy, man. He good people.
No, I was trying to get fucking my preference. Everybody was answering it for him. I got fucking frustrated. Like, man, let the man brother talk. It's all good.
But he wouldn't let me talk.
Yeah, I was trying to get
Hey, man, I'm
Buck
gonna tell you
answers.
what y'all need to do. I got a hot tub time machine, right? We're gonna go back to the 1950s, and we can settle it that way.
Facts.
We can settle
Facts.
it
I'm
that
with
way,
it.
man. 1950s.
I'm telling you, I cur a lot of nigga shit.
That's what I told the motherfuckers on PBK. I said, all y'all
I'll
motherfuckers
stop
out here
your
sucking
shit.
that
We
man
ain't
cock.
gotta be.
I said,
We
I'll
can be
cut
friends
all y'all
afterwards.
shit
I'll
out.
stop your shit.
I don't want to be your friend. Fuck you.
Keep them
Yeah,
open
we can be
ended.
cool afterwards, shake hands like gentlemen. After
Cause
I
niggas
stop
talk
your
too much.
shit.
Hey, that little gopher was finna get on your dog soft part of your dog ass, cuz I seen it. Goddamn old
A little motherfucker know what he got his little ass
hey,
on. That little bitch fast.
Get down in this motherfucking hole and see what happens.
Shit.
I seen that motherfucker. I was like, man,
Yeah, that thing big, ain't it?
hell yeah, I seen that motherfucker. Soon as you put the video, I'm finna put that shit on my what's the name channel and put a little arrow right there at the goddamn gopher. Put an arrow on that motherfucker so they'll go away
That
again
bitch look.
and see what the
That
dog
bitch
run
about the
out.
size of a basketball, bro.
Hell yeah, it might be bigger than a fucking basketball.
Yeah, it's a little longer, but it's about like it's that big.
Yeah, damn, I wish I had them shits in my yard, boy.
Yeah, he caught one.
Hey,
He
get your
caught
little
two, as a matter
Patterdale
of fact.
Terrier. You get your little Patterdale Terrier, you can wipe them son bitches out. Cause that motherfucker gonna dig, he gonna go in that hole. He gonna dig
Yep.
that bitch out and go down in there.
It's under my neighbor's garage. So it's a slab
Okay,
up under there. It's a slab up under
okay.
there. You never mind.
I can dig it, I can
But
dig it.
you
I
know what I
get that little
mean?
Patterdale and get down in there and get his motherfucking ass.
Yeah.
Jerry Clinton is on their ass.
Yeah. Snatch that nigga up out there. Mink man, that nigga hit him with the mink man. Put
That
that
motherfucker be
mink
in
down in there on
there.
his ass. He get him up out of there.
So,
Full of city boy, man. Next red man bitch I get, I'ma breed that bitch first.
so
But
you gonna breed the city boy?
nah, I said I'm
Did
gonna
I
pull
hear
some
that right?
city boy shit.
Oh. I thought you said you gonna
Now my
breed the
dog
city
died.
boy.
Yeah, my cousin and my
Oh,
dog
okay.
died. So I'm like, I should have bred that bitch.
They say, well, you better
We got a lot
goddamn.
of shit
What you
over
gonna breed you a pup? I thought you were gonna breed
Nah,
you a puppy for a second.
yeah, that's what I was saying. We end up buying the same shit over again, man. Like, oh,
Man, you gotta let the breeders breed, man. Sometimes you gotta ride a nigga coattails to the top.
I'm gonna call this shit anyway, so it don't matter, man. Breed it. I had to call the puppies too, but
You say you gonna cull the puppies? Damn.
nah, I'm
Got a
saying if
little
the shit,
gold first.
you know, you a genius if it works, but if the shit don't work, hey, man, okay, you know not to do it again. You had to call the bitch and the puppies offer. But
Damn. That means give away.
you only gonna like the one you like.
Rehome them. Man, you can't outrun me in that little weak ass shit, cuz. Cut it out. I'm trying to race and shit.
Where the governance office? Where the office is? Way around the front. Okay. Yeah, shipping. Uh huh. All waiting for it. Okay, I need my truck for that. Yeah. Okay.
long ass wow, man. My bad.
This cocksucker, man. How the fuck you gonna pull out in front of me like this, man? Bro, dodge, man. Get the fuck out the way.
There's some dirty little flea little animals. Man, they got these things up here, man, called what do they call them? Call them super hall. You dig what I'm saying? And they like twice as big as a boar. They like some genetically hybrid shit. They got out into the wild, and they up there in Canada coming down to the United States, fucking shit up, bro. In these big ass dumb packs, cause ain't nothing kill it. You dig what I'm talking about? It ain't got like,
Them motherfuckers
you know,
eat meat too, don't they?
Yeah, they'll eat your ass. They eat anything.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm talking about? And then they come through, fuck up the crops. They tear all the crops up, and then they eat up everything. It's the crops. They come through and I mean, tear it out in a matter of hours, and they in mega groups. You know, they usually a group for like.
This motherfucker eat mud too. Like they get some
Man, listen, man, they got fleas, but these ones is like they bred these ones to be bigger and stronger, and then they got out in the wild. So they've been breeding with these natural pigs, natural boars into these super boars. Now they got super hogs, and they're paying people to super hogs. Look it up, bro. Look it up. I'm not making it up. Yeah, they like 1.5 times bigger than a regular hog. They're a little smarter, a little rougher.
So
you dig what I'm talking about?
They bigger than JD Hall? That motherfucker's pretty damn big then, ain't it? They say JD Hog ran into one of them hogs. Trying to talk about he got bit by something. Man, quit fucking lying, nigga. JD Hog got them tried to motherfucker come off the chain.
That had been a question for so long that I even got the word one about it. So many people were asking, what happened to JD Hall? You dig what I'm talking about?
You want me to tell you the story?
I ain't even heard about it. You dig what I'm talking about? He got pumped up so much, and then you just stopped hearing about it.
I got the book. The book right here. The JD. I can tell you what happened to JD. JD Hall got pulled off the chain. That motherfucker rolled him up one of them dirties and pulled JD off the motherfucking chain. And he ran into a motherfucking hog. And the hog wasn't playing that shit. And they had
ran
the
into
bag and told
he ran into one of them super hogs.
Man, he ran into a super duper hog. Super duper hog shot to his ass in. Came out his ass in into the throat. And the dog you know of JD Hog is no more. He's hogwash. I'm saying.
Oh, bad.
Yeah, so they got them they chunked goddamn JD Hog and the goddamn chunked them in the trash can, man.
Damn, man, you got to be more careful.
Yeah, JD Hall wasn't got that. You know, you smart. Motherfucker rolled one of them dirties up and thought goddamn JD Hall was motherfucking champion yellow. Grand champion yellow.
Got to be more careful.
But you know, when you coloring, like when you're in a coloring book and shit, anything yellow is like scary and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like yellow is like the scary, you know what I'm saying? It's like the scary color. You know what I'm saying? JD Hall just got them, you know. He got motherfucking washed.
Man, y'all support the mag, man. Go get that BT magazine. You dig what I'm talking about? Volume 2, the hot off the presses. That number 1 is still you can get that one too. If you ain't got version 1 and 2, I say buy 2 copies. You dig what I'm talking about? Do yourself a favor, throw one up on the wall, because this is about to be, we making history, man. We the new greats. And this is why I think addressing what the brother Itchy was talking about earlier is so important, because it's going to be all 3. You got to give Itchy his credit. If he bred, he been reading it 15, 20 years. It's to show itself. You know what I'm talking about? You got to give him credit. His dog is great, but the line behind it is great. That's why his stuff is great. So you can't like take nothing of it. But I think you know, because when you do mix the Red Boy Bolio Tombstone, it's not what it was. It's something totally different now. You dig what I'm talking about? So I think everybody got to get their credit. Because I think, you know, breeding strategies, you know, the ideology and the man himself is very important. You dig what I'm talking about? All right. I just don't think any of it can be taken for granted. You dig what I'm talking about? When it all is an integral part. You know what I mean? But nigga, how long this shit is gonna be Eli? You dig what I'm talking about? How long? You know what I mean? Till it's something different. You dig what I'm saying? Because I don't even think a lot of Eli is Eli to that. That's just me. You know what I mean? When you look at them pets, I don't think a lot of Eli is really Eli. But, you know what I mean? Buck City for the win, man. Cracking is cracking, man. Y'all boys cracking, man. Y'all let the breeders be
Cracking
breeders,
definitely
bro.
is cracking. Cracking got that cracking.
Got that crack in.
Cracking, got that cracking. Well, I'm gonna be hollering out, goddamn Buck City for the win up there, Tom going and shit. Buck City. Goddamn Buck City for the win. I hope that bitch ass motherfucker sure enough come out there. Hope he crawl him up under his motherfucking rock.
Give me a second, Big Saw. I'm gonna jump right back on.
All right, bet. What Buck at?
Word,
The
word.
mouse got your tongue. The mouse got your tongue. What's up?
What's the word? What's the word, man?
What we doing?
Just checking it out, man. Just checking it out. We got up in here Wayne, Yee Rock, Vito, M6. You dig what I'm talking about? Him and James up in this thing, man.
I don't think I
Y'all
ever
hear
asked you that.
me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, well, where that rascal
Hey, I'm gonna jump
start?
off and jump on, man, because I
No,
had you
don't,
on
no, nigga,
Bluetooth, man. This shit
don't
low
jump
as
off
hell.
now. Don't jump
No, I'm
off
gonna jump
now.
back on. I'm gonna jump right back
Yeah, I'm
on. Tell
waiting.
Buck to
I'm
put
gonna
me
mute
on,
up
cause
till you
I
get
can't
back.
hear you.
I ain't saying
I can't
nothing till
hear
you
you,
get
man.
back.
I can't hear you. I'm gonna jump right back on. 2 seconds. Tell Buck to put me up. Bring me up.
Vito,
Salute
what it do?
everybody in the chat, man. Salute, man.
Waiting on Saul to
Everybody in the
get back.
chat.
I thought Saul jumped off. I can still hear him talking.
Yeah, I'm here.
Saul need to respectfully put that 3 back up there. What that 0 doing up there?
Man, you know that was like seeing Bigfoot. They know that shit wasn't happening.
It might be 7-4 the way you got quiet last night when Cortland jumped into the chat and shit and started asking
Oh,
questions.
for real? I went to
Yeah,
sleep,
you
man.
seen
I
that
fell
man
asleep.
name. You seen that
I fell
man
asleep
name and
on.
got quiet. And you ain't come
Hey,
back
I
to
fell
the
asleep on
chat.
Cortland, man. Cortland ain't no goddamn body. I'll whoop his ass in my sleep. The fuck?
But you got
Portland.
Red
You think
Bull
I'm gonna let
dogs,
a
Saul?
motherfucker named Portland beat me?
Hey, footage don't
Portland.
lie, Saul. People do. Hey, Buck, roll film, goddammit. No, I'm just
Roll the
Oh,
playing.
film
you want
then, goddammit.
you want
Hey, how
him
they gonna
brother?
pull how they gonna pull a 15-year-old dog off the
Hey,
goddamn
look,
chain?
I'm sitting at the table holding a cigarette in my mouth, dropping the footage in an envelope. I'm about to mail it out, goddamn.
Hey, he trying to make sure he show that. But boy, I can't wait to see you up and going. Boy, I'm gonna give you a big hug. I'm gonna give you a big hug. I'm gonna say, man, I thought we was cool, man. I thought we was guys. I thought you was my guy, man.
No, man, you keep this in my
That
region,
was
man.
man,
You keep
that was before my time, man, your time,
you
man.
keep this in my
How much a
car,
ticket
man.
to that
You
shit?
can't keep this in my
How much is a
car,
ticket?
man.
You know how
Hey,
much the ticket is?
That shit free 99.
No, I don't think so,
$3.99.
bro.
That shit free, man. The food free. All you got to do is have a love for bulldogging. You heard the man.
And he said, if you talk while he trying to talk, your ass got to get the fuck out.
Was that a jab, bro?
You know, we bad about that shit, talking over motherfuckers and shit. I'll be the
Saw
main
like
one.
locking that chain up.
Hey,
Man, y'all know what Cosmo doing, bro. Cut it out,
Hey, I'm
man.
gonna hey.
I
Hey,
don't
hey,
knock it, but
BBK
like,
gonna be there.
don't do it to me, bro. Yeah, I don't
BBK
be
gonna be
wanting to
there.
do that all day. That nigga ain't gonna be there, bro. One dude
Shit.
say he
I
catch him
don't
somewhere,
hey,
bro.
I rented
He
him a
gonna put
car and
paws.
everything. He can't
He gonna
drive that
put
little shit.
paws
He
on it.
can't put them big ass dogs in that little blue car he got. That
I
shit
mean, it
too
was
little.
I don't think he thought his premise through, right? Try to be the fucking villain and knock every bloodline out there other than Big John, which what did Big John fucking produce? Shit, you know. So it's like it's not even the best yellow strand that was
Oh,
out
he,
there. Like
hey, 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 hey,
ain't nothing
Saul.
better than the Triple A shit. Like so, maybe
Saul, you
Red
better
Devil was a
leave.
close second.
Nah.
Your man in here, Cortland in here.
What up, Cortland? What's the deal? Cortland to catch a
Hey
bag
man,
with
you
a
gonna
nigga with all that soft
hey, you
ass
gonna leave
shit.
my nigga Saul alone, man.
Hey, hey. He gonna get
Hey,
Cortland
Courtney,
fucked up
man,
and
you
then he
ain't
gonna
gonna
start
chase
feeling
my nigga
sorry for
Saul
you.
around, bro.
He said, LOL, we can keep it verbal. I doubt I'll get my ass whooped unless you're a bad man.
Say I'm a bad man.
Yeah.
I'm a bad man.
Y'all might need
Hey,
to cut it out,
Cortland.
man. What if he get the next
Cortland.
grand champion
My,
wrong? Y'all gonna be wanting
hey,
to breed to and
my
shit.
resume precedes itself, partner. You know what I'm saying? I'm over 500. I'm over
two,
500.
two hip
Waxing
replacements
niggas
later.
since first grade. I've been waxing niggas' asses since first grade. Shout out to my pops for putting me and my brother in boxing. We've been waxing motherfuckers' asses since goddamn first grade.
That's over with,
Hopping on the
Saul.
soft part of motherfucker ass. Me and my bro.
Saul, that's
I did a
over
little
with, man.
amateur
You at
boxing.
you at
That's too
the
much
age of
work,
the
bro.
colon check, man.
The
That's over with,
reality is
Saul.
most motherfuckers can't fight. That's the
That's a
reality.
fact. That's
Hey,
a
You know
Buck.
what
fact.
I'm saying? So
Hey, Buck.
if we can get
All
that one
that,
out the
all
game,
that
then we
fucking
can start
driving.
getting to the meat and potatoes. You
Hey,
know.
no, so hey, you know what's
Let me
worse
see
though, Buck?
Curtis Johnson,
You
son. I
you
don't know
know
if he's
what's
still
worse?
boxing or not.
You know what's worse than not being able to fight, Buck? Not being able to take a fucking punch. That's even worse. Like it's some niggas out here that get punched and life is
Oh yeah,
over.
you ain't got no chin fucking with Saul. Life is over.
Man, that
Cortland,
nigga
Listen,
OT
that's
soon,
getting
Cortland.
bust.
When I
listen.
tapped that
But
little
Soon as I see a
chin,
nigga tee up, if I see a nigga tee up, I already know I'm about to knock him out.
yeah, I gotta
You
take
how,
my
tee
boy.
up on me, I'm about to knock you the fuck
You ever,
out,
hey
bro.
yo, you ever
who the
punch it?
youngest on the panel, man? How old you brothers is, bro?
I'm 40.
Man, you ain't doing no fucking tussling, nigga. You smoke
Who?
cigarettes, drink, nigga.
I don't smoke
Man, why?
cigarettes, I don't smoke cigarettes, Aki.
Okay,
You
okay,
know how I'm
okay,
coming.
okay.
Nigga, we
I'm
coming like
throwing these
bulldogs, nigga,
motherfuckers.
fresh out of keep.
Hey, look,
Fresh
I'm
out of
throwing
keep,
these. Hey,
Y'all
itchy.
listen.
remember when y'all was 25, man? Cut it out, man. Nigga had a
Shit,
fight
I was
in 4
Man,
goddamn.
years,
I'ma just
man.
tell you like this: all this shit work.
Everything work.
Everything work, nigga.
Buy
Yes,
y'all some
But
sir.
I
pocket,
saw
buy
some
y'all some
youngsters out
pocket
there
sizes,
gas the
man.
fuck out. I saw some
Hell yeah,
youngsters
young.
fight,
They
and them
smoke too
motherfuckers was
much.
gassed out, boy. Gas,
Too many.
A whole bunch of
gassed
Hell,
ducked
out.
out.
He was
I
Nothing
just
fighting a
but
seen a
whole
fight at
war
the
after that.
job. I
you
just
ever
seen a
see
young boy fight an old dude at the job, man. He looked like shit, man. You think I'm
Only
finna let
time
these
it
little
matters
young
is if
motherfuckers
both.
beat me?
you
Only time it
Shit.
matters if
Shout
both
out to
are
Moses,
conditioned.
man.
prime
If
Shout out to
both
example.
Moses, man. But you look
if
like
both are
shit, man, when you was fighting
conditioned,
that boy.
then that might make a difference. But two non-conditioned motherfuckers, it don't age don't matter.
Did you see the Charleston White Allen boy shit? Man, that
Yeah,
shit
that
was
shit was
funny.
terrible.
Terrible.
That shit was terrible.
Terrible
The way
technique.
Charleston White talk, you thought he was